Lois, you ruined everything, you know that?
I know it's a little extreme, but when it comes to our children, it's better to err on the safe side. Isn't that right?
No. You know, Lois, if everybody was as closed-minded as you, the world wouldn't have some of its most inspired creations.
Man, this chocolate bar is delicious.
Oh yeah, I love peanut butter.
I'm Officer Racer. What happened here?
You got peanut butter on my chocolate.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the show. I'm just bringing up my green screen so that I can go on the show. This is our green screen setup for this show. And I just finished my cooking show. And it was terrific. I'm using a remote laptop computer, which we picked up about a year ago to do the cooking show. And we've got the studio show in here. And we've got you watching. So thank you for coming in. This is our Technology Thursday show. And it is pretty terrific. We've got the ability to broadcast what is called a prosumer event with limited cost. So all the computers that we bought were no more than $2,500 about 8 years ago, or combined $2,500. Yeah, the hair is not perfect, of course, because like I said, I just did the broadcast from my kitchen. I made a shrimp vegetable souffle. We've got over 2 billion viewers. I'm shocked. 1.73 billion viewers globally. It's just phenomenal. Thank you so much for coming in and sharing this amazing event on a nightly basis. We're all here for the same reason. We're worried about the technocracy that is taking over our world. Many of our cultures are being washed away. You've got an elitist group of people running the world with all their money, and that's an archaic system that's been around since the monarchies. And they don't really need us anymore. So they're beginning to think that we could be replaced with robots. And when we look at the world, we go, wow, this is a really cool tablet. I really like to use it. And it's great. You know, I love technology. I absolutely love it. I've loved it ever since it started coming out. And I saved up my money as a kid and bought the first calculator, scientific calculator, only to get ripped off. I paid $150 for something that went down to $39 2 weeks later. And I couldn't get my money back. So it happened again with computers. I bought computers for $5,000, and now you can get a decent laptop computer for around $1,000. And if you're really desperate, you can get a tablet or a small notepad for $250 at Walmart. So we really have benefited from technology. So I'm able to bring you a show with this technology. I'm able to reach out to a lot of people, but these elitists, they don't need us anymore. They can make robots. So you see the conflict that's happening. The old money, the evil money that persists because the system is rigged against the common man. The evil money is now trying to make a big move and trying to depopulate us. So that's why they're dumping chemicals in the air. That's why they're engineering global climate change. That's why our world is becoming weird. In case you're wondering, they're purposely doing this rapidly. All right? So we have a political choice to make in America to stop this two-party system from starting wars, which we now see Trump is falling right into the New World Order plan to start a war in Syria. They want to pit Russia against the U.S. in a ground war. Because these people, they control the dials, they control the buttons, they think that they've got nuclear power and the nuclear threat completely under control. I was shocked when I heard this plan back in 1973. I was reading a Foreign Policy Review magazine, because I did a lot of reading as a kid. And I read this thing about Henry Kissinger proposing low-intensity conflict. I think it was 1974. And I was reading this, like, why would we have low-intensity conflict in this world when we have nuclear parity? And then later we talked about, in 1980, Reagan talked about mutually assured destruction. So what's really going on? And that's when I dug deeper and I found out that the monetary elitists that really run the world, for them, this is a game. It's just getting rid of people. I don't know why people quit casting. Do you realize how hard this is? Most people could never do this. I'm a life caster. I've done this way more than you could imagine. Over 8,000, 9,000 hours of broadcasting. 50 people are camping out on Walmart's roof to enjoy the Sponheim show. Hey guys, wow, you're amazing. 4K TVs, I'll bet, huh? You know, in Japan, they were coming up with 8K and 16K TVs. 4K is actually an older format now in Japan. And in China, they're looking at that too. So we're actually catching up to the leaders of this manufacturing that brought us the amazing LED and LCD TV sets that we have in our home. So we have all in America benefited from this huge amount of production around the world. And I respect it to a certain degree because it's not easy to produce product the way that we've seen these products produced. But the environment has paid a terrible toll. And now we've got to address it. We are reaching a point where we're going to have to look at the environmental aspect worldwide. And I don't mean imposing global climate change legislation. I don't mean in any way putting together an international cap on carbon. I think we can do this individually within our own, within our own nexus of separate nations and states. We don't need to go to a global authority to do this. Okay, what year was that? 1990 it was talked about? Yeah. Well, Kissinger developed the plan in the 70s. And he just started rolling it out all through the 80s and 90s. But why would they be starting small wars when we've got mutual assured destruction with nuclear power and nuclear, dangerous nuclear bombs? So, this is a stream about politics, in case you were wondering, Mr. 852. You and me, misanthropy, yes. Nope, I'm not a moron. I'm a genius, technically, and I'm here to bring you some good news that I'm still here to help you. You know, there may come a time when I'm no longer able to give you any advice. And you may look on your elders for advice and they'll all be walking around fluoridated with no intelligence, like Donald Trump. He is absolutely just not, there's an old saying, a little knowledge is dangerous. And with him, it really is. It's seriously dangerous. He's pushing a healthcare bill that's going to strangle our budget, add more to the budget, and he wants responses right away. And experts in the field are saying, no, we got to wait for the Congressional Budget Office, CBO, to give us some numbers. We don't even know what this is going to cost, Donald. He's like, no, we want to make a deal. No, you got to understand. He keeps pushing his crap all over the place. Meanwhile, the FBI and the CIA are both dealing with separate issues, but coming together on the Russian situation. So it's like a nonstop disaster at the administration of Donald Trump. He's diverting our attention, pushing bad legislation. Doctors said it was bad. Hospitals said it was bad. Nurses said it was bad. It's bad. Okay? Get rid of it. The only way you're going to go back to something simple is to produce mobile medical units, tie our Medicaid system and our Medicare system to public hospitals and nonprofit hospitals, and there's a lot of those. Regulate the fees they can charge for the procedures and the rooms that they let out. Cap salaries at $150,000 per person max, so doctors and administrators can't make more than $150,000 a year. And then see what happens. Because right now we're paying people to get $900,000 a year, administrators in public hospitals. Can you imagine making $900,000 at a public hospital? They do. It's just unbelievable. $1 million a year. There's a hospital in Texas, the administrator for a public hospital gets $1 million a year. It's unreal. Yeah, mobile medical units, my idea, a solution to America's problems could be integrated into almost every city in America and provide immediate care, especially in the case of disasters. So, I'm not careful about anything I say. Trump is a disaster. I have the right to say that. Everybody has a right to complain about this president, and you have every right to complain about presidents, no matter who you are. Even if I were your president, I'd want you to complain. Even George W. Bush was out speaking about the same subject, and he's saying, yeah, you need to hold them accountable, keep their power in check. Even he was saying that last week. So Trump missed the boat because he's power hungry, and he won't stop until he takes it all. Have you ever seen somebody who has Prader-Willi? It's a disease, a very unusual disease. They can't stop eating. Well, Trump is the Prader-Willi equivalent of greed. They can't stop taking and acquiring things. Yeah, he can't stop. All right. 25 viewers in St. Jude's intensive care unit. Wow. Good evening, guys. You're going through a hell of a lot. And St. Jude's is one of those nonprofit hospitals that would still qualify with public doctors. But we need to get the cost of your upper management under control, because that's where it's sucking us dry. Bush is remaking his personality. I mean, he's trying to repackage himself as a different person. So... there it is. Yeah, so typically a mobile medical unit would be a response vehicle that would be brought into a city and guarantee immediate access at least once a week in your area. Hospitals rip you off like no other. Everyone needs a CAT scan, even if you've been exposed to electromagnetic radiation, I know. They push CAT scans because they make like $1,000 to $1,500 per CAT scan. Or even more. Yeah. And, you know, like the portable... ultrasound units, they're incredibly cheap to buy, but they charge a hell of a lot for every use of one. Oh, you've got to pay the trained expert. Yo, come on. Give me a break. Well, listen, I get your point, 538. The public hospitals that I'm pushing, we're going to tie our public option into a plan that's underwritten so that we'll include malpractice for all of our doctors. You won't have to pay malpractice insurance when you work within our public option plan. Prader-Willi is, the syndrome where they can't stop eating. It's a complex genetic condition that affects many parts of the body. Weak muscle tone, feeding difficulties is the number one thing. Poor growth and delayed development. Beginning in childhood, they develop an insatiable appetite. And leads to chronic overeating, hyperphagia, obesity. Oh yeah, but they can't stop eating, and then they'll start barfing. It's terrible. So he's kind of like the equivalent of that with greed. He can't stop taking and acquiring things. It's a compulsion. And based on his the John Hopkins top psychologist in the country, who says that Trump is suffering from a malignant narcissism, which is incurable, it's within the framework of that disease that he would be constantly in need of making himself appear bigger and more important, and it's like an endless desire to be the biggest and the best and everything. Yeah, he's very, very much involved with that. And it's sad because he's taking our country for a loop. We don't need to go down that road. We had that with Barack Obama. He catered to himself and Michelle like no other. He lived in a posh environment. He spent a lot of money, but now Trump is on track to spend 10 times more on his vacations than Obama. So we've gone from bad to worse with this guy. Wawa. Checking me out. Hey, guys. 18 kids in the corner Wawa. 31 people are watching from the hills of eastern Kentucky. Welcome, guys. A shocking video exposes the 10 cities in California. Let's take a look at this. See, with mobile medical units and mobile service units, we won't see a much disenfranchisement going on in these 10 cities. But there it is from a distance. It's a huge tent city that formed along the Common Aqueduct in California, right near Disneyland. Look at that. It's like all along the top of the aqueduct. They're riding down, taking some pictures, these guys. Oh, sorry. I was reading the chat. Yep, and there's some encampments up close. You're seeing it as they drive by. All these people are completely disenfranchised and with no services whatsoever. If we had a mobile service unit, like this mobile medical unit, we could provide these people with portable showers and washers and dryers. I mean, they're sleeping in their clothes. They haven't washed their clothes in a couple months, probably. Seriously. I mean, it's just horrible, their conditions. So we got to make life a little easier at the bottom so that we can make ourselves feel a little bit better, so we don't think that we're just like destroying the world. Turn up the volume, yeah. Trump up the volume. Hillary will be in prison? I don't think, no. Donald Trump gave her a pass. She's not going to be prosecuted. Yep, and there's Dark Engine's characteristic, the top psychologists are saying he's malignant narcissist. Displays classic traits of mental illness, claim psychologists. So this is a very sad day when our country is now stricken with a guy who's suffering himself, and he can't even ask for help because it goes against his disease to ask for help.
I'm really rich. I'll show you that next time.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110, 111, 112, 113, 114, 115, 116, 117, 118, 119,
Bye. someone who has a grandiose sense of self-importance. And this is not playing.
I'm really rich. I'll show you that in a second.
I speak to a lot of people, but my primary consultant is myself, he says.
I speak to a lot of people,
How
but
would
my
you-
primary consultant is myself.
A preoccupation with fantasies of unlimited success, power, and brilliance.
I speak to a lot of people,
How
but
would
my
you-
primary consultant is myself.
I think the only difference between me and the other candidates is he's more honest. I mean, wow. Thinking they are particularly special.
The greatest jobs president that God ever created.
Someone who requires excessive
They
admiration.
spent, listen to this, $1 million on ads against me in Iowa. Now here's the good news. They used the best pictures. I look so good in those pictures. I'm trying to find where they got them.
Having a sense of entitlement and reasonable expectations of
Stand
favorable
in the middle of
treatment.
Fifth Avenue and shoot somebody, and I wouldn't lose any voters.
Yeah. Selfishly takes advantage of others to achieve their own ends.
I will build the wall and Mexico is going to pay for it and they'll be happy to pay for it. And all these other characters say, oh, they won't pay, because they don't know the first thing about how to negotiate. Trust me, Mexico will pay for it.
Showing a lack of empathy.
Because I was down there, and I watched our police and our firemen down on 7-Eleven, down at the World Trade Center right after it came down.
They're often envious of others or believe others to be envious of them. Wow. This is pretty enlightening, isn't it? He shows arrogance, haughty, patronizing, or contemptuous behaviors or
What a
attitudes.
great honor it must be for you to honor me tonight.
It's a little treat. You're going to see the nicest apartment in New York City. It's my apartment.
The beauty of me is that I'm very rich.
Okay, that was from the independent.co.uk/video. All right. Thank you for putting up with that. It could be liberal propaganda. It doesn't matter. You've got to listen to it because your country and our country depends on it. I know a lot of you Republicans felt completely left out of the process when Obama pushed Obamacare, and I hated the fact that Obamacare was shoved down our throats. But they're not going to be able to reel this in with repeals. That's the problem. And they don't have enough votes to do it. Unless everybody all of a sudden realizes this is strangling our economy and then everyone in Congress votes against it. Now that's possible. I use non-toxic detergent and dish soap, yes. I first voted in the Jimmy Carter election when he was trying to run again against Ronald Reagan. I voted for Jimmy Carter. You remember Jimmy Carter?
I did last after Playboy magazine. Rosalind did not like that. But he was just a Plains, Georgia farmer.
Yeah, that guy. When Ronald Reagan came into our country and offered a vision, a way to get the nation's self-esteem up, a way to look at our American great nation as if an actor was leading the country. And then we had this whole new approach. You know, he made a deal with Iran. The Iran-Contra thing went on, and he claimed he didn't know about it. But the deal with Iran was to get our hostages back, and it was very successful for Ronald Reagan. It gave him quite a bit of political capital, so to speak. But the gas crisis has really hurt Jimmy Carter. Good point. But I actually voted for the Democrat those elections. I voted Democrat for 30 years, and then right around 2007, Sarah and I were blown away by the haughtiness of the Democrats in our area and how they didn't even want to listen to people, how they didn't even want to allow democracy. And I was told to shut up numerous times in the meetings. And I felt like completely put off, and they told me, no one's ever going to vote for you. It's like, I'm about ready to start my own political party. I'm out of here. So we started America's Third Party in 2008. We were working on the concept for about 2 or 3 years prior. We started a Cool Rock Party. And that was a concept of bringing renewable energy back to our country and building jobs using those technologies. But then we also recently, I started another thing called Chemtrail Party. So we're branching out into different directions. But I have chemtrailparty.com. And it's pretty rudimentary right now. I'm just building the site, but when you go to it, it just offers a little bit of information. I'm going to get a lot of cross-linking and all kinds of things installed. There's lots of stuff on chemtrails. And I really think it's important that we start looking at all different aspects. So this site is getting started to get going. We've got to galvanize people about the dangers of chemtrails. Believe me, this is not whack job central. We are being dumped on with chemicals every day. And then it goes on to open that up. And there's a couple different links here. I'm working on them. But, yeah. Chemtrail Party. Let's talk about how we're going to clean up our country and make it a better environment here. That's something we should do. Because we're not going to be able to solve the problems in Syria by sending troops over. Syria is something we should be hands off with right now. Trump is doing the exact opposite. He's doing what Kissinger wants him to do by sending in support now. Marines are going into a city to fight a war that has also Russian operatives on the ground. So we know now that Russian operators are this is a possible conflict between the U.S. and Russia in Syria coming up. It's pro-looking and sounding, but we haven't even given it any beef and content. I'm still working on it. We're trying to raise awareness for chemtrails, like Chemtrail Cowboy. So, all these things we talk about in the evening are coming together into a kind of cohesive movement, if you will. So not only do we want to clean the environment that we're living in, but we want to make sure that these chemtrails stop. Because what they're doing to the environment right now is creating a convection zone above our heads. And it's virtually poisoning the atmosphere at such an alarming rate that we're seeing climate change rapidly. And we would not normally see climate change. We're right now entering an ice age. We got here 25,000 years it took us to get here. But it's going to take 50 years before the ice age starts to happen. In the meantime, they've created like a microwave oven above our heads. So even a top CERN scientist says these are clouds seeded by jets dumping aerosols into the upper atmosphere. Remember Freon and how it was pulled from all the U.S. refrigerators and air conditioning units? Well, Freon was nothing compared to what they're doing daily in the atmosphere, eroding the ozone that protects our skies from dangerous UVC rays and UVB rays and UVA rays. The C ones are the bad ones, though, and they can cause skin cancer. And the North Pole right now, because of this convection zone, is actually melting, 30-degree higher temperatures in the Arctic Circle this year. Well, the whole idea of socialized medicine only makes sense when you control the cost of medicine. So this mobile medical unit idea is something that we believe will be the secret to dropping the rates that we're currently having to pay for insurance. And those of you who are lucky enough to have insurance, what you'd pay when you go see a doctor shouldn't be $1,500 for 1 hour. And that's what it costs at ER in America right now, on average. $1,500 per hour. So we've got a lot of problems that are happening. Now, if you go in there broke, they're not going to charge you and it'll be free. But that's how the system is paying for the massive malingerers that are doing nothing to pay for anything. So these mobile medical units will provide free care. You just have to sign a voucher, affidavit saying that you have no money. And eventually we'll have an integrated system that will check against your tax returns to see if you are broke. So, but it's not going to be too invasive. We want to treat you, number one. And the Hippocratic Oath, the thing that doctors and nurses have to say, will be the number one beacon. Will be veritably like Florence Nightingale on wheels. And how it used to be, it should be again. We'll have about 5 EMTs at every location. Outside of this location will be I'm going to suggest a tent, a large tent, and I would construct something that would be completely covered, and we'd be able to build a comfortably seating that opens right up. Oh yeah, there's climate change big time, buddy. You're in La La Land if you think there's no climate change. You must be a complete idiot. But we're talking like a large tent assembly. You know, that stretches way out here with seating, like racks of seating right in here, maybe 2 rows, portable seating that can open up, and we can just, you know, like a long row of seats that we can just open up, so we don't have to open up individual seats, because we're going to be opening up in every area, in every part of the city every day. A large LED TV screen about 60 inches so you can watch things that are helpful tips on what to do, how to cook. When you go in for a treatment, it'll be a simple blood prick analysis, blood chemistry, electrolytes, whether you're predisposition to diabetes or heart disease. And you'll be able to get all that, including the possibility of getting your medicine at a generic medicine provider in the back there. We'll have an onboard Pillomatic that will dispense pills. We won't need anybody in attendance. It'll be a Pillomatic running on a system that you pay cash for or use your debit card. The affordable medication will be well under the cost of major big pharma meds right now. And we'll also have marijuana in the form of medical marijuana designed in 1 gram to 3.5 gram packages. And they'll be actually able to sell you medical marijuana out of the back, recreational use, because I'm going to be legalizing marijuana first thing I do when I become president. Yep. You're down with the Pillomatic. There'll be people in there, you know, you can dispense. There'll be a security guard there to watch everything, but even the Pillomatic will serve out medical marijuana in 2 forms, indica and sativa. And it'll be explained very simply that indica makes you feel sleepy and creative, and sativa makes you feel a little bit more wired and up, but, you know, definitely slightly altered. What we found that cannabis is doing is really helping people with diseases like Parkinson's, seizures. Kids are getting benefits who have seizures, epilepsy. They spray the CBD oil. There's no psychoactive ingredient in the sprays. The kids get the CBD oil in their face, and immediately they stop their seizure. It's phenomenal. But look here at the response of this Parkinson's man. It's a short video. I'll play it for you. To the benefits of CBD oil. This is the first time he took it. Now watch his attitude change. Watch what goes on. He's very upset right now.
Disease, leave me alone.
He smokes a little bit of this. This is just smoking CBD oil. There's no psychoactive ingredient in that. He takes some CBD oil on the back of his tongue. Chris takes a total of 4 dabs and 1 full dropper from a tincture of 99% pure CBD oil. 5 minutes after taking the final dab. 5 minutes is how fast this works.
How are you? It's been probably about 5 minutes since you took the last dab.
Yeah.
How are you? How do you feel now?
I feel much more relaxed.
Okay.
I mean, parking is difficult to get to a level where you're comfortable with parking.
Yeah,
your
absolutely.
body always tenses up, your brain starts activating, it gets discomfort.
Yep.
I feel much less right now than I did, 5-10 minutes ago.
Where's your pain level? I mean, you were at an 8 or 9 when we first got here. Are you still at the same pain level?
No, it's reduced. I'd say probably about 4 or 5 right now.
Really?
I mean, it's not gone, but it's definitely substantially reduced.
It's a little bit dull.
Yeah.
Okay.
No question.
1 week later, we received the following email about Chris's experience thus far using CBD. Let me read it for you. Pain and sleepless nights have haunted him for 19 years, and I'm pleased to report the use of CBD products the past 2 weeks has significantly reduced my pain on a level from 9 to 4.5. In addition, my sleep has increased dramatically. Isn't that great? All right. Thank you. Sarah's here.
That's very cool.
Yeah. So all these people who are so strong against cannabis, our Declaration of Independence was written on hemp. Okay? We could be making tons on profits from producing paper and textiles, even concrete type products out of hemp.
Yeah.
So, Sarah's never smoked marijuana in her life, and she never wants to, she said, which is fine. If you have never smoked it, don't push yourself into it. Yeah, don't force yourself into smoking something. I'm urging people to resist that desire unless you really need it. Because remember, this is a psychological thing too. It affects you. Certificate of birth from Mombasa, Kenya. Look at that. Something has popped up. And this is interesting. This new arrival of this birth certificate issue kind of brings the birth certificate issue front forward again. You know, I said last night, I said if Donald Trump really wants to stop the overwhelming concern people are having for Russia, then just do a frontal assault on the Obama administration and claim that he committed fraud. And I said this a week ago, and if Donald's listening to the show, he knows that's his best move, to defer all the media now back to Barack Obama and that birth certificate. So I still believe it's the only way we're going to repeal Obamacare, is to get all of the things that Obama did completely rescinded. And this would do it. If this is the new information that leads to us, I don't know. And I just changed scenes, so I'm going to dramatically change scenes and go over to another alternative room. Kind of change my background. Get a new technology background going here.
Oh, yes, because it is Technology Thursday.
After all, yeah. So Sarah's here. I'm going to let her talk for a while. I'm going to go back and bring the laptop in from the cooking show. I made a really nice souffle, so I'm going to put on noodles. And yeah. All right, so yeah, really beneficial aspect of using hemp, CBD oils, and as soon as we open this up to recreational across the country, our country's going to heal economically too. It's already helping. We see states like Washington, they just met a mile mark of $1 billion sold of marijuana products. $1 billion is sold already. That brought almost $400 million in tax revenue into the Washington state budget.
Wow.
In the past 2.5 years.
That's pretty cool.
So that's huge. And people are going to buy it anyway because they're benefiting from it. It's that good, it's that miraculous that people enjoy it. So no way should we turn this down. Okay, thank you for the screenshot of him on the boat. Look at that. Somebody said Mark Vaughn took him boating. Look at this. Now Mark says he doesn't have a boat. He told me he didn't buy a boat. And he also told me he didn't buy a Rolex watch, but we saw on his Facebook a posting of a Rolex watch last week. Now we're looking at him on his boat. Are you with me? Mark took me boating. Isn't that nice? So we're beginning to think that there's some deception going on here, and we've been censored pretty heavily on this network. The huge viewership around the world is really driving people in, and they can't get into our chat room. And we tried to open up new chat rooms for you. And Sarah, might be able to open up our Ustream over here. I'll take a look at that, but people are hesitant to get into Ustream now. So we're wondering what's going on. And we don't know if the basic VIP is paying his bills, because frankly, not a lot of people on here have basic VIP. We've got an open chat room at Ustream, and that link is wide open for people to get into on a tablet. Mark doesn't have tablet technology, so I'm going to post this in the chat room. I'm in the middle of just doing a show. I don't want to sue somebody for censoring me. But this is a way to get a tablet operating system at the Ustream site that runs great. They say it runs on iPhones, and you can watch our show there. Okay? We're hoping that'll open up to more people chatting over there. All right, thank you, Sarah.
Hey, Ab. You down with Ab? Because he's got abs. We live in the world. A world star hip hop. Sure you did. I believe you. Of course I do. This will be good. What is... So some technology trivia. I'm doing good, Evil Dance. Good. How are you doing? I heard that the Iditarod is happening right now. Why is my skin always so clear? Oro Gold, deep peel. Every once in a while. Just like maybe once a month. I don't think it was really a souffle, because I don't think he used any flour, right? It's just his egg dish. I am faring well. How are you, Malco? Alright. What is the use of microorganisms to injure or destroy humans, animals, or crops? It's outlawed by international treaty, but facilities for developing biological weapons exist in some countries. Close enough, chicken dime bags. Pretty much close enough. Vangelitis. They used to now they call it biological warfare. Now they just call it, or before they called it germ warfare. So misanthropy, how's it correct? Gold stars. I don't think I've ever given out a gold star, but I should. See, bioterrorism and biological warfare. Yes, good job. Ooh. What is a type of satellite that orbits the Earth at an altitude of about 22,000 miles? It circles the Earth every 24 hours so that it remains stationary over a particular spot on the surface. It's very useful in communications because it can remain in continuous contact with a site on the ground. Duct tape has it correct. Maybe that's why I don't give them out, Dr. Meow. Bonsai is correct. Geosynchronous satellites. For shilling? What? There you go. Okay. Good. Alright, that's fine. What is a device that produces current electricity, usually by rotating a conductor in a magnetic field? There's current through electromagnetic induction. It produces an alternating current. 779 duct tape has it. 779 has it. It's just a generator. A generator. Yeah. Alright, who was an American entrepreneur who, after dropping out of college, co-founded Microsoft Corporation in 1977 to produce his basic operating system, DOS, for computers? Melko has this one. Misanthropy, 804, Vangelitis, duct tape, Dr. Meow, Sulan, everybody. Bill Gates. In 1981, international business IBM adopted his system for its computers, thereby boosting his career. Microsoft became a public company in the 1980s, and as its share price soared, Gates became one of the wealthiest men in the world. In the 1990s, the U.S. government brought a lawsuit against Microsoft for allegedly violating antitrust legislation.
Yeah, but at the same time, the U.S. government was literally funding Bill Gates' growth, just through purchasing operating systems for U.S. government installations.
Yes, the parties settled out of court in 2001.
So the government was really behind the original.
You will give us machines indefinitely into the future. No, I don't know.
What's that? What's that?
I was saying they settled out of court.
Yeah. They settled out of court, but what I'm saying is Bill Gates himself literally profited from the government tax dollars. Huge amounts were spent on U.S. government operating system upgrades.
So
every single time there was an
779
upgrade.
says the whole thing about Bill Gates, the... 779 says Yeah, anyway. CPM refused something. Alright.
I have to bring these laptops in every night.
Oh, yes, Misanthropy. We do notice how Bill Gates and Steve Jobs both stepped down at the same time as the NSA stepped up.
Yep, that's right. They both stepped down when the NSA stepped in. Exactly.
I don't remember the CPM, but I do remember the Commodore. Control data. Interesting. I know. Or you can hear David just as he is. What is a mixture of gasoline with alcohol derived from plants? It was popular fuel for cars and trucks during gasoline shortages.
Look what I found in the ground outside. It was like brand new glasses, reading glasses.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
I was going to put on the Dr. Drew thing here.
Awesome Carl Show, misspelled. How's it correct? Gasohol.
Gasohol. Ooh, that's a good one, yeah. They convert coal, right, to the gasohol?
It said plants and something else.
Oh, okay. Gasification was developed by Adolf Hitler in the 1930s.
Oh, Bengalitis says, David, don't take those glasses. The CIA put them there on purpose.
They knew I would grab them. They probably have an audio listening device. How would they know that I was going to Walmart today, though? That's the thing. That was random.
You're awesome.
But I wanted to just revive the
I
simple...
bet they don't even have, like, magnifiers, do they?
They're 1.75 magnets. So I can read chat, from a distance.
That's good.
But I can't see chat. I have to go right here to see chat. But no, seriously, the recent dump in Vault 7 of the CIA WikiLeaks thing that just happened, it is very interesting because the dump very well could be filled with a latent malware which can so they're saying that hackers may grab these codes and this information about how the CIA hacks into all the technology off of the Vault 7 WikiLeaks that just happened. Hackers might get this information. Well, maybe the CIA is running this operation through WikiLeaks to embed in all these files small malware that could help them trace the hackers. You see how this could work? So when they're telling hackers they're going to do this, they're going to grab it and they're going to rule the world. How do they know? How do the hackers know that there isn't a small little code, like a kernel of code, embedded in every one of these files that could help them identify the location of those hackers?
Yeah.
Embedded code in every single piece of software that they released. That's a possibility.
I won't be giving anyone ops. He's right, it could have a GPS tracker in the code. Alright. What is an installation that produces electric current for commercial sale? In the United States, most electricity is generated from fossil fuels. Some is generated by nuclear reactors. What are those called? Power plants, close enough. Generating plants. Good job. Hi, awesome girl. Yeah, up in Canada they call it hydro. Because you guys have so much darn water up there. That's pretty awesome. Awesome water. We have a lot of water here too in Washington State. What is a saying that points out the fact that a computer can only do what it is programmed to do and only as good as the data it receives and the instructions it is given? If therefore is a logical error in software, or if incorrect data are entered, the result will probably be either a wrong answer or a system crash. Awesome Carl has it correct again. So does Bonsai. Garbage in, garbage out. Saying is sometimes short G-I-G-O. Geigo. Oh, man. You're on fire tonight. You must know your technology. What is the placement of a thin coat of metal, such as zinc, over iron or steel to protect it from rust? These types of metals usually appear shiny. Poison Pez has it, and Awesome Curl has it. They're galvanized metal. You galvanize to keep it from rusting. They galvanize it. You're thinking in a little chip. I haven't done that in a long time. 509. No. I think cats are natural. They don't call you the fake Awesome Curl for nothing. I know. All right. Who was an American inventor of the late 18th and early 19th centuries who launched the first successful steamboat, the Clermont, in 1807 on the Hudson River in New York? He's probably working. He has some job in... Sausage is so close. Misanthropy has a name spelled correctly. Sausage now has a name spelled correctly. Fulton. Some people called it Fulton's Folly, but it's Robert Fulton. Good job. All right. What is an electrochemical device where a chemical reaction produces energy that is converted directly into electricity? Once used primarily in space travel, these are now being considered for use in cars. Some of them are actually used in cars. Unlike internal combustion engines, these do not pollute the environments. I'm going to give it to Dr. Meow with Misanthropy close behind and duct tape on the board too. Good job. Fuel cell is the correct answer. What is a type of radio signal in which the frequency of the radio wave is varied to carry information from the transmitter to the receiver? Misanthropy is correct. Sulan is correct. I know. If only we had our message reaching FM channels. People in this room may have gray hair, including me. Do you guys know? I'll tell you what AM stands for, by the way. FM stands for frequency modulation. AM stands for amplitude modulation. And then you typed it, and then you tried to type frequency modulation. Good job, 779. All right. What is a means of separating a computer network from outside networks for security purposes? A server outside an organization's own network may be used to funnel all incoming and outgoing traffic. Misanthropy has it correct. Sulan has it correct. 239 has it correct. Firewall. But Dr. Biao's right. Just unplug your computer. So they might use a server outside an organization's own network may be used to funnel all incoming and outgoing traffic to assist in keeping out viruses as well as to prevent unauthorized outsiders from gaining access to a network. The question is, do you believe him? 700. I know it's a pretty good book. I'll be reading this book if I run out of internet. If I can't talk to you. I tend to agree with you, 700. All right. What is the impression or mark left by the underside of the tips of the fingers or thumbs? The impression is formed by a pattern of ridges on the skin's surface. Misanthropy's correct. Awesome Carl Show, duct tape are correct. I don't know. Maybe you can check my YouTube and see if I'm more accurate on that one. That's why you wear gloves, to not leave any fingerprints behind. Yep, the pattern is unique for each individual, therefore can serve as a means of identification. And then they said compare it to DNA fingerprinting. Fingerprinting is used extensively in criminal investigation, but it's also used as a means of identification by many organizations. Oh, they have a little giraffe cam. Animal Adventure Park giraffe cam. Oh great, that's not what I wanted. Dang it. Darn. Thank you, Ab. Hi 550. Alright, what is a computer software program that selectively screens out incoming information? I look kind of British today. I'll take that as a compliment. What is a computer software program that selectively screens out incoming information? You guys have some pretty good answers there. We'll go with sausage and talk back on this one. A filter. But you are kind of right with all the other things you're saying. NSA, I know it was pretty vague. What is the target of a filter, or parents may use a filter designed to prevent their child's access to pornographic or violent web pages. But what usually in email, what is the purpose of a filter usually? Just, there you go, awesome Carl. Prevent spam. Good job. Spam prevention. Alright, gee. YouTube. Alright, what is a technology that uses specifically or specially designed bundles of transparent fibers to transmit light? Bingalitis, misanthropy, awesome Carl. Suzanne, pretty close enough, yes. Fiber optics is correct. Some of the applications of fiber optics are in medicine, where it's used to view otherwise inaccessible parts of the body, and in telecommunications, where it's used to transmit data of all types. I didn't realize that it was used in medicine. That's pretty cool. You guys like Technology Thursday, yes. There's an endoscopy with an Android app for endoscopy. That's pretty cool. Wow. No, it's Thursday where I'm at. What's this? Let's see what this is. I should give this information to David. All right. Okay. What is a process by which a system regulates itself by monitoring its own output? It's used to control machines. A heating system, for example, uses a thermostat to monitor and adjust its output. On the other side of the circuit board, you mean this chair? Talkback is right. Feedback or feedback loop. It feeds back part of its output to itself. Feedback is also used by the human brain to control various muscles and joints. By extension, feedback is any response or information about the result of a process. Feedback is usually a feature of automation. Ha ha ha, don't worry, be happy. It's talking about like joints in your finger. All right. What is an abbreviation you would look for if you're trying to find answers? Hi, Divination. Misanthropy is correct. What is FAQ short for? Very funny, 693. Misanthropy is correct again. Awesome, Carl. Okay. Good job. Frequently asked questions. It's a list that provides answers to common questions asked by visitors to a website.
You made some big progress in this book. You're almost done with it.
No, I'm not almost done with
Just
it.
kidding.
Ha ha ha.
Ha ha ha.
It's just I'm skipping around. So, like, this is Technology Thursday, and then I have, like,
Does ATP have a fact? No, we don't have a frequently asked questions. We have a lot of answers, but we don't have a lot of questions on our site. Well, you can continue if you want. I don't want to take your time away, but
there's no problems, only solutions.
Only solutions. She's awesome, yeah. And I made her dinner. If you want some. I was
going to say this popped up on YouTube.
Great.
Which is something you might want to look at.
Creator Academy Boot Camp. Wow. It's an online schedule that they do.
I think.
Okay. Maybe that'd be good.
I don't know what it is, but I just clicked register. So anyway, I'm going to let you register.
Okay. All right. We'll see.
I have other things to do.
Creator Academy might be a good venue. We're going to try to hook up the other program, which.
Dream my life away. They ask me all kinds of questions designed to confuse me. Something like that.
Yeah.
I'm just sitting here watching the world wheels go round and round.
It'd be great if we could pull up.
Man, I love to watch them churn.
So could you look that up while I do this? Great, thank you. Okay, hello. Audio's up. We're ready to go, yes. Twitter deletes post of Barack Obama's brother. Wow. Wow, let me find that out later, Talkback.
Whatever.
Let's go to Reddit for a second. I'll take a look at that. Just go through the list and find out. Great. Twitter deletes a post of Barack Obama's brother after he tweeted the former president's original Kenyan birth certificate. So Barack Obama's brother Malik, as you know, is not exactly happy with Barack. And if he really does have the original birth certificate from Mombasa, Kenya, we'll see.
Wait, what? I need to go here, right?
Yep. It's just in the list of footage that you have to roll through the list. I don't know what the name of it is.
I do. I'll know it if I see it.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. What do you like about Reddit? You know that the government owns Reddit, right? As well as Twitter? You didn't know that? Okay. Well, those networks were originally started by, like Aaron Swartz started Reddit. He started the RSS feeds that were original, and then Aaron Swartz was killed. He was suicided. They hung him up, strung him up, and then they claimed he'd killed himself. And his fiancée said that he would never have done that. He was in good spirits the day that he was found strung up. So they took over Reddit at that point. Yeah, so you like various parts of Reddit. I mean, who doesn't? I mean, I like eBay too. But why would eBay continue making money well into the future on code that is architecturally antiquated? I mean, seriously, eBay works, people use it, but why would the eBay family continually make money the rest of eternity on a lot of these programs? I mean, if the government owns this stuff, maybe it was a couple days ago. The government owns this stuff, so refer was maybe in the word.
Yeah.
R-E-F. Reddit still claims you are a robot, Dave. That is preposterous. I speak normal, like human beings. Using voice smoothing technology, I have mastered the sound of a normal human voice. What makes them think I'm a robot? That is preposterous. If I was artificially generated, I would have to be in crystal clear image quality through the CGI networks.
Are you sure it's in this?
It's got to be somewhere, yeah.
It's in Firefox?
It might even be in that, yeah, I think it's in Firefox.
It might be over there.
Yeah.
I don't really know.
But things like that are really important, and
yeah,
we need to kind of move in that.
So. Yeah, you could have done that.
No, I mean, we do. We need to move on that.
Yeah, you do.
Right. Okay, so Dave, the Democrats, thank you for finding it. Appreciate it. Okay, we're good. I'll work on that later tonight.
I guess I'll work on it.
No, I'm going to work on it later tonight. David, Mark, why does the CSS on your website make it look like it's from the 1990s? You know, ironically, that's what works with Mark's website. We believe that, no, we're good. I'm good now. I'm fine. I can already get in there. I know how to do it. I'm good. Thank you so much. But as long as you found it. That. Yeah, I'm all set to do it.
Okay.
I'll look at it later. But thank you for that. We have to just keep that up every time we come in. I'm making incremental progress in technology. Hey, Larry Levi. Larry Levi is here. How you doing, man? Oh, Mark is here. Really? Okay. Well, Mark has a really good chat room. I mean, I will compliment him there. I mean, that's one of the reasons why we still broadcast and do our chatting at the Bond Network, because it really works. He has some great controls. Getting out from under it may protect him right now, but he's still liable for any censorship that he's doing right now during this time period. Selling it isn't going to make you less liable. You know, or using News Views and allowing them to broadcast the Fox network. I mean, these are serious things that Mark says it doesn't work that way. And I guess he knows more about it than I do, because he doesn't seem to care.
There's a thing called, this is interesting, they're kind of changing their stuff.
Yeah. We don't know what's wrong with Flash Player on Vaughn, but everyone's going to the HTML5 network base. When somebody does buy up this network, it may advance in some ways. You know, we still have a show over at YouNow we may bring back. That was our blog TV show that was bought up by the YouNow network. Watch raindrops launch swarms of bacteria into the air. Raindrops keep launching bacteria. That's what they're doing when they're bursting their bubble. Watch this. That is really high-speed photography. Look at that. Raindrops keep dropping all the bacteria on your head. I was wondering why I was getting all kinds of bacteria on my face when the raindrops were hitting me. It's 'cause they're bouncing on your face when they drop on your head and burst. That's pretty good photography,
so it's
man.
when the rain hits it and then it bounces up.
Yeah. And then the bacteria go everywhere. Isn't it amazing? It slices, it dices, it makes mounds and mounds of bacteria. Well, that's the point. Vaughn only works on 32-bit. Maybe he will advance to a bigger format when he sells this network. You use Streamline to watch Vaughn? Oh, okay. Streamlink? That's interesting. I've been telling people to watch our show on Ustream because Ustream has a portable software program that you can download to your iPod, or iPad rather. iPod, they don't even use those anymore. Do you still have iPods? Mm-hmm. Any of you using your iPod? Do the batteries still work? Well, I'm not making outrageous claims. All I'm saying is that we have been censored. Everybody in our network has had problems with the capacity server screen, and Mark said that it never happens in our show. So Mark is clearly out of touch with what's going on here. Plus, Mark says his revenue stream is coming from VIP Basic. Now, if he's selling VIP Basic to real people and not just fake accounts, and somebody's dropping money in his lap and say, oh yeah, give me about 50,000 basics plans and I'll just, here's the money. If that's the way the money's flowing, then he's got a what is called an accounting nightmare.
Yeah.
And if he's selling his business as earning the revenue from that source of VIP Basic, it better be spelled out with specifics, and everybody who you call up to verify is at their account better be there. Otherwise, he's selling a pig in a poke. And that's not exactly kosher. And that won't fly with the Trade Commission. When you sell a corporation, the Trade Commission gets involved. So if he's up to selling this and he wants to move on, fine, I don't care. As long as we got a free site to broadcast on, I don't care. Well, all I'm telling you, you better dot your I's and cross your T's, because the accounting division of a business transaction without any stream directed from real people would be called fraud. Okay, just so you know, your next buyer may want to know that, if indeed you're getting your money from fake accounts. If you're getting from real accounts, and how many people in this show right now have a VIP basic account? Anybody? Anybody have a VIP basic account where you pay $9.95 or something a month? You speak and ye shall be heard. And the guests don't count because you guys don't have accounts. Yeah, see, none of them have basic accounts, Mark. You said you're making your money on VIP Basic. None of them have basic accounts, Mark. I mean, who are you kidding? We just saw a picture of your boat. We're not taking calls, by the way, so don't bother calling. I can't believe the crap that I've been hearing about this network and how they've been treating us. It blows my mind. We have millions of people that want to get in here, and they can't. They can't get in here. Censorship has been unbelievable for the past year and a half. Thank you. And we have to deal with not only trolls, but haters too. Sometimes we get a hater in the room. Look at those 380,000 people better have real names in their real account and can be contacted by phone. Because if there's 380,000 people and miscellaneous, and they're just sitting there, somebody's got a revenue stream coming in through a back channel. That's all I've got to say. And I'm not the person to sort that out. That would be an accountant's nightmare, okay? Yeah, he says he bought a yacht, now it's a boat. This site is funded by In-Q-Tel. I know. I knew that In-Q-Tel bought up Twitter, they bought up Reddit. They're working on Vaughn. Yeah, I get that. They're probably going to buy it outright. Mark's going to take a check and go bye-bye. But Mark, you know, we definitely will be in touch at a future date. Mark my words, Mark. Thank you. But you have stopped the growth of the most important political movement in the country over the past few years at a critical time in our history. You got to go to sleep feeling good about yourself, thinking, oh, wow, well, you know, I'm just protecting my mom and my insurance policy. You know, if that makes you fly, man, if that makes you tick, Karma's a bitch, and you're going to sense karma eventually. I'll tell you that. We are in the Matrix. That's correct. Sorry. I'll do that later. Well, he says he doesn't have a boat, but we just saw a Facebook account of it. What is this? You're saying he doesn't have a boat? Tell me what this is, guys. Mark Vaughn, according to this guy, Mark Vaughn took me boating. Is this a guy making it up? John Robert Jones? It looks like a fake name. I mean, you don't know. This guy purports that this is him actually in the boat.
The thing is, though, up above, what you see is, like, obviously they marked out a name here.
Yeah, they don't want to be known.
But why, like, they don't want to be known that they're reporting this information?
Well, maybe it's false. I don't know.
It could be all a joke.
You know, when I talked to Miss Scruffy online, she said that Mark didn't buy these things. She said she was making time payments, and then Mark says he owns a boat, a car, and a truck. Okay.
It's not a site on actual Facebook.
Okay, well, it's a light shot of one on Facebook that was blurred out.
Right.
Yeah, because they didn't want their identity known. I'm just saying, why would a person want their identity out there? Would you put something out there? He has a submarine, really? He bought a submarine? Wow, that's cool, Mark. Wow, so he bought a submarine, too. I guess he's going to make a lot of money and then walk, like Blog TV did. They made $5 million. That barely covered their bills. I thought that Blog TV sold out cheap because they had the best software for people to broadcast on.
Oh, who was that?
Blog TV, where we were 4 years ago.
Yeah.
And they sold to a guy who was a pedophile investigator.
Yeah.
He did a movie called Chicken Hawk, a documentary, the owner of YouNow. And he was investigating pedophiles. And that's the person that gave $5 million to the Blog TV network and shut it down. And blogtv.ca hasn't popped up after that attack they had on their site first few weeks. It's just crazy. So what are we going to do? Where is the chat going to grow from here? Twitch TV sold like for $1 billion. Yeah. We don't know. He did a pedophile investigation documentary. I don't know if he was one. You know, if they had dirt on him and they said, we're going to have you take over a network. We're going to give you $5 million here at In-Q-Tel, and you're gonna buy up the Blog TV network because this guy David Sponheim is on there, and we don't want him to continue to growing. We want to continue stepping on him and censoring him. You know what I'm talking about? So the guy basically stuck us in a hole. Blog TV went from 50,000 viewers to 2, in 1 or 2 days. Remember that? Okay. Thank you. Have some dinner. Enjoy. Mm-hmm. She's taking a break. She just got home. She's done all this time with you. She's helped me online, and here we are, doing a show every day against all odds. Sarah and I are working as a team to do that. Well, he makes $100 million. What's it to you? It's off of my back. What do you mean, what's it to me? My intellectual property is involved every day when I do a show. If he's making his money censoring my show and I can prove it, then there'd be a problem for Mark. If he's not, and I have too many things going on to bother pursuing a censorship charge once I'm president of the United States, okay? I won't really be wasting a lot of my time, but if he's okay with the way he's handling this censorship and lying about it to me, straight up, because you know and I know that everybody comes in here usually encounters the VIP capacity screen, which he says isn't happening ever. They're erupting. Alaska's volcano throws ash 35,000 feet, interrupting commercial flights. No, this isn't a giant sphincter in the sky. This is an eruption of massive proportion from a volcano in Alaska. Yep, in the Aleutian Islands, as seen from ISS, International Space Station, is a major seismic event headed our way. There's no way to know for sure, but science warns that hotspots like the San Andreas Fault in Southern California are overdue for the big one. Boom. Who is it? Shepard Smith on Fox said that everybody west of I-5 is toast. He said that like 2 years ago. The Starsky and Hutch look, I went with the sideburns because everyone said I was looking a little young, considering I've been 8 years doing this. I have a video of me doing the show in 2008 after just 50 days of broadcasting at 10 hours a day. I went outside and I was like kind of burnt out. And I did a little video of myself, which is talking about my hybrid car. Check this out.
Hi, good morning. As you can see, I'm still wearing the shirt I wore last night and yesterday at Blog TV. It's exhilarating to do Blog TV. We've been having an incredible time. This is in fact day 54. I thought yesterday was day 54, but we did a recount, and we determined that today is day 54 as we approach the election. And as your potential write-in candidate, David John Sponheim, I'm here to show you my hybrid electric vehicle. It's not a plug-in hybrid. That's something I want to build at the U.S. Auto Corporation that I want you, the people, to own. Check out this vehicle. Isn't that a beautiful car? Everywhere we go, we get looks. One of the reasons people look at us is we get about 60 miles per gallon, which is really nice. We've been across the country a few times campaigning, and this vehicle is truly a dream to drive. It's a little bit tough on the bumps because those tires are high pressure.
Yeah, but as you can see, I'm pretty much, I had to look a little older, so I wore bigger sideburns now. So I want to age a little bit here. Hey, that car is amazing. The technology that's involved in this is phenomenal. I have the manual on this vehicle, and it's like a symphony of operations. There's a fan that cools the battery pack. When you're going downhill, it charges a generator, which basically puts electricity in your battery pack. When you go uphill, it's a 5 horsepower assist, so you can make it easier up the hills. Lithium Ion Pioneer says new cell holds triple the power. Well, I hope that works, but look what happened with Samsung recently with their i7s blowing up, and now they're working on the i8. I think that you're looking at very dangerous lithium-ion technology. Lithium is a liquid. Thank you. Viewership is very low here. Yeah, we know. I have millions of viewers around the world. We can't even get them into our chat room. We want to hear from them. We really do. I have over 100 million, close to 1 billion viewers right now. It's frustrating because when we're censored and we're dropped to 120 viewers, what's happening is virtually a crime. It's against free speech. It's against public use of the airwaves and broadcasting stations. So getting out from under a liability is not something that's going to happen if you sell the thing, Mark. I mean, it's not like you're getting out from under a liability. You can't sell your liability, man. Holding back America's third party has cost our nation a tremendous amount. We've got, right now, mobsters who are running our country. Thank you. We have people who've taken over our country since they killed John F. Kennedy. The mob. The people who got him killed are still in power in America, and unless those people are imprisoned, America won't ever be free. Now think about it. We've got people in our government right now and in the Trump enterprises that are Ashkenazis. You heard me, Ashkenazis, just like Hitler. Hitler was an Ashkenazi. We've got the same mobsters who are running Germany trying to control our destiny in our country right now. So when I started America's Third Party, I knew what I was up against. I've known fully all along what we're dealing with. Corruption at the highest levels. So we take on some pretty tough subjects like Pizzagate in the evenings. We talk about it because we don't want it to just disappear. The story is getting better. We take these tough subjects on. But that's what a third party is going to have to do, because we're dealing with erasing corruption as fast as we can and building up the engine of progress again. Because these mobsters, remember, they're primarily into money. They don't care about you having a better life or your family getting a job. They just care about money. These Ashkenazis have virtually dominated our country up to this point, and they're running out of wiggle room because their credit advances and their markers are starting to be calling back, or their markers are being called back. They can't expand their credit anymore. But they're trying to create another war. Now Trump has added troops to Syria, and they're trying to integrate a new war in Syria against this nebulous ISIS that they've created. The CIA created this, along with Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton. And Trump's going along with it, because he's just the henchman of this apocalyptic move by the New World Order. So when we break out this movement, and we start this movement, and we are starting it all the time, we're going to be taking the leg out from under these people, and their table of cards, their house of cards they've created, will start to crumble. So we've got a lot of people bigger than Vito Corleone running D.C. Yeah. It goes deep, and the rabbit hole goes deep. I'm not playing anything in protest. I'm honoring Mark's recommendations. I can disagree with him about the censorship. I'm not in any way charging him with anything. There's no crimes that I'm charging him with, so if there were, there would be problems, but at this point, if somebody were to censor me and do so in the existing parameters of our FCC rulings, I don't know if he's committing anything other than censoring us. So, thank you. Yeah, and the mafia extends all the way through Russia. So if you're one of these Trump supporters who thinks, well, Donald is preventing the Russians, the Russians are stopping the New World Order. That's what I hear from a lot of Trump-tards. Russians like money too, and they are not in any way preventing the possibility that people can give them lots of money for things done right. Russians want to make money too, so they're buyable just like our country and our government. No different. So the money controls the world. I hope you understand that. Basically, the theory that Trump is going after El Chapo because Trump supports a rival cartel, your guess is as good as mine. I'm like, wow. We know that there are dark forces in the Trump administration. How dark, we don't know. This guy's amazed. We don't know if Putin is calling the shots from some blackmail on the sex tapes. We don't know. But the FBI is still investigating computer activities, the computer link between Trump Organization and the Russian bank, according to a report. This is from The Hill. The FBI is still investigating whether there was a computer server connection between a Russian bank and the Trump Organization, CNN reports. While the first reports of a server connection were dismissed in November, the FBI continues to investigate possible links, according to the network. The FBI's counterintelligence team is reporting handling the investigation, which is also currently examining whether Russia interfered in the 2016 election. So we're definitely on it, and I'm sure that this new C-SPAN is going to be covering the new hearings coming up. It'll be like Watergate. They're going to be doing some open investigations. It'll be very interesting. The show will get better and better as time goes on. If you think you're going to stop me by telling me to stop an insane show when I'm talking about the key issues affecting mankind, then you are the enemy, sir. And you're going down. Tequila. Lots of madness in the world. Bitcoin is holding its own. Precious metals dropped, and people continue to fight over fake politics. You've got a link for us. Thank you. Look, I have so much going on here that you couldn't even begin to stop what's happening.
Yeah, good buddy. What's going on, man? Anyways.
Well, I've got a show happening every single night, except for Sundays. I take a night of rest. And we have a plan to virtually dominate the news by 2020. And it's working. I've got a massive worldwide audience. We've got the critical mass necessary to push a little bit into the censorship.
To the studio to show us the very latest piece of electronic equipment.
And we've got the ability to use this amazing technology, this prosumer technology, to bring you a show every single night. It's amazing.
A computer that makes music. Hello, Peter.
Hello. Now I've got a microphone here, and since my voice is about the only thing we've got around that makes a noise, let's try.
We can't stop.
And that's do. And we're ready to play it. Now if we type in P, M, full stop, P, C, and then
we can't stop.
You can also play them.
We can't stop. We can't stop. We can't stop.
Now what you can also do, see, is the fact that you can get that sound to be played by the computer, playing a tune that I've already got inside the computer waiting. Now all I need to do is call up the next page. and we're ready to play.
We can't stop and we won't stop. We're gonna dance all night, bring it on to the sunlight. We can't stop, we can't stop. We can't stop, we can't stop. We can't stop and we won't stop. We're gonna dance all night, bring it on to the sunlight. We can't stop, we can't stop.
So let's be clear.
In this coming election year, please vote for David Sponheim. America's Good Party.
Sponheim for president.
Can't stop, can't stop, and we won't stop. We're gonna dance all night, bring it on to the sunlight. Can't stop, can't stop, and we won't stop. We're gonna dance all night, bring it on to the sunlight. Can't stop, can't stop.
First we hit 'em low, then we hit 'em high. Underrated, but we made it to the finish line. Rhymes designed to combine and intertwine. Spring to the summer, fall, even winter time. Beats banging harder, then head-on collisions. We make incisions with precision and quick decisions, causing double visions. If you ain't up to speed, you need to speed it up. Harder, piano read.
We can't stop and we won't stop. We're gonna dance all night, bring it on to the sunlight. Can't stop, can't stop, can't stop, can't stop, can't stop and we won't stop. We're gonna dance all night, bring it on to the sunlight. Can't stop, can't stop, can't stop, can't stop, can't stop and we won't stop. We're gonna dance all night, bring it on to the sunlight. Can't stop, can't stop, can't stop, can't stop, can't stop and we won't stop.
In this coming election year, please vote for David Sponheim. America's Good Party.
Oh yeah, they've got the goods on Trump. They do. If those sex tapes are real, we got a lot to worry about with Trump. Yeah. So yeah, I think the investigation is right on target. We're not going to be able to erase corruption completely in America. That's completely unrealistic. We are going to try to chop the head off the snake, so to speak, with a third party. And that's going to begin the process, begin the beginning of healing this nation. Thank you. Guess 208 liked that. Yeah, there's sex tapes on Trump. They're pretty real. Yep. Trump has been doing business with Russia quite a bit. And that's why he doesn't want to show you his tax returns, because they would show that his stream of money has been coming from Russian condo sales. Malik Obama is sharing a photo of Brother Barack Obama's birth certificate, which is a huge thing. Now, if Trump grabs this and runs with the story I told him he should run with right now, if he wants to divert attention from the Russian entanglements that he's got, and I'm only telling you this because I think we need to start with Barack Obama and then go to Hillary Clinton to get accountability. I'd rather he does that right now than me having to deal with that while I'm starting up different new operations, renewable energy industry in America in 2020. I'd rather we get this thing cleared and clear the slate and look at Barack Obama as what he really was, which in my opinion is complete, absolute fraud. And that's how we're going to get rid of Obamacare. We'll get 6 weeks, and Congress has 6 weeks to redraft something. The Republicans would pitch their ideas at that point, and then we would vote on it. And if they got a 2/3 majority, they would be able to pass that new legislation. If not, we go back to pre-2008 Medicaid payments and Medicare payments, which would completely erase the debacle called Obamacare. But here it is. And Obama has joined the birther movement. Malik, Barack Obama's half-brother, tweeted an image of what appears to be Barack Obama's birth certificate. There you have it. So, place of birth. All right. Honolulu. What? Oh, that's the residence of the mother. Oh, okay. This is State of Hawaii. This isn't the real one. And what's this picture? You got to click the link. Yeah. Obama, Malik. Yes. This is something different. This Malik Obama has sent something much, much different. Look, this is from Kenya. The Coast Provincial General Hospital in Mombasa. Whoa, this is the real deal, maybe. Whoa, look at the little footprint of little baby Barack. Oh, that's so sweet. Oh. Yeah, he'll be charged with fraud, big time. Yeah, so I think if you're with me, Donald, go for it, man. If you really want to get my help for free, obviously you've been using my ideas, over 10 of my ideas he's used to win the election. And yeah, check this out. But if you really want to divert attention from Russia for a little, it'll buy you a little time. Go after the birth certificate. That'll get 2 birds with 1 bush, or 1 bush with 2 birds. 1 rock will hit 2 birds with 1 bush. I'm mixing, mixing metaphors here. President Mike Pence doesn't sound quite so bad, some top Democrats are saying. Check this out. I'd sleep easier with almost any other human being as president than Donald Trump, said a former Obama speechwriter. And they won't say so publicly, but several elected Democrats told BuzzFeed News they would much prefer to have Mike Pence in the Oval Office. Well, there you have it. They didn't see that video about a guy in Indiana who claimed that Mike Pence was involved in a child trafficking and murder ring. That's hearsay at this point because the guy died right after he did the video. Did you hear that about that video? Should I play it for you? Yeah, he's got some real bad stuff to say about Mike Pence. Of course, he's dead now, so. Well, I think Pence would be a lot more level-headed, I'll tell you that. And in no way am I implying Pence was involved in child trafficking and murder. Okay, that was what the guy on YouTube said, who died right after he said it. Yeah, so Pence is part of the New World Order. He's part of the Masonic group. So is Paul Ryan. He's a Freemason. So Tech Wall is a Freemason. Pence is an idiot? Well, he certainly didn't help that man who was should have been released 2 years earlier when he was governor of Indiana. He should have released that man who was 20 years in jail. He never committed the crime. That was pretty sad. Yeah, guy, yep, Indiana. Released. Prisoner. Pence. Wrongfully convicted man pardoned by the new Indiana governor felt abandoned by Pence. This story is right here, right in front of us. WGN-TV has the story as we speak. I'll play it for you here. This man spent 20 years in jail since 1997. His family had to put up their house, 2 houses, just to pay for his legal defense. And Pence didn't even want to release him. A Chicago man who spent more than 8 years in prison for a wrongfully convicted crime says he's angry that his name wasn't cleared by Vice President Pence during his time as Indiana governor. 49-year-old Keith Cooper said during a news conference Friday in Chicago that he felt abandoned by Pence but was thankful that new Indiana Governor Eric Holcomb granted him a pardon on Thursday. Cooper was convicted for a 1996 robbery in Elkhart, Indiana, during which a teenager was shot. He was released from prison in 2006 after a co-defendant's conviction was overturned by the felony conviction had remained on his record. He never did any of that. But Cooper's attorney said he believed Pence didn't act on the pardon request for political reasons. Pence just blew the pardon request off. Now, a Pence spokesman did not immediately return a message seeking comment. Here he is. He spent 9 years in prison unnecessarily, 2 of which were under Pence as governor.
What happened yesterday is unprecedented. Never before has a person in Indiana been exonerated through a gubernatorial pardon. But what happened here is really an ordinary thing for an extraordinary human being. It's unfortunate that it took 4 years for Governor Holcomb to have to do what Governor Pence did not do. For many years, Governor Pence did not do any action in relation to Keith Cooper and his quest for justice. And instead, he put his own political fame and desires in front of exonerating a wrongfully convicted human being.
Right.
And during much of that time, Governor Pence's office led us to believe that they were going to grant a pardon, especially when we received a letter from the prosecutor that wrongfully convicted Keith Cooper in support of the pardon. Yesterday, though, with one swift signature, Governor Holcomb changed Keith Cooper's life. He changed his family's life, and he gave justice to all of them.
And this man, not only did his family put up their houses for sale, his family was homeless, without a father, all these years. And Pence didn't do a damn thing. So yeah, putting the reign of power in the hands of somebody like Pence may or may not be a good thing, but it may be better than Donald Trump. I would agree with those Democrats. I didn't forget Dan Quayle. Thank you, though. He looked a bit overwhelmed. Didn't he be in prison all those years, duct tape? Yeah. NFL abuse of painkillers and other drugs described in court filings. You know, the average lifespan of an NFL player is only like 55, 56 years old, like my age. I'm 57 years old. Wow, am I really? Wow, that's amazing. Going on 57, I guess. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, heading toward that next month in April. NFL abuse of painkillers and other drugs described in court filings. Wow. National Football League teams violated federal laws governing prescription drugs, disregarded guidance from the Drug Enforcement Administration on how to store, track, and transport and distribute controlled substances, and plied their players with powerful painkillers and anti-inflammatories each season, according to sealed court documents contained in a federal lawsuit filed by former players. At times, team medical staff displayed a cavalier attitude toward federal guidelines that govern dispensing medicine. In 2009, Paul Sparling, the Cincinnati Bengals head trainer, wrote in an email, "Can you have your office fax a copy of your DEA certificate to me? I need it for my records when the NFL pill counters come to see if you were doing things right," he says. "Don't worry, I'm pretty good at keeping them off the trail." So they bragged about not having any oversight over their drug use. Yeah, WikiLeaks is a CIA operation. It's not some major big deal. Whatever happened in the leaks document about the Vault 7 may very well be a scam to track hackers. There may be embedded soft code in the like malware. James Ongawa was an Obama family doctor for years, but he was murdered in 1970 while walking home from hospital. Wow. 1970, he murdered the doctor. Thank you. Look at doctor's name on certificate and read this, Bing. Oh, so the story gets better and better. You know, aren't I glad that, I'm really glad that I talked openly about how Donald Trump should pursue the Barack Obama birth certificate right now. Super Dave says, why pay payments to insurance? Why not make them payments to your doctor? That's what our public option's about. That's the public option concept. It's a direct pay system to doctors that work in our public hospitals and nonprofit hospitals as well. Yeah. Good point, Super Dave. Yeah. Yeah, Chris Benoit. So that's some interesting stuff. You have a Twitter talkback? What is the Twitter about? Oh, that was it? Okay, thank you. Great. Yeah, well, a lot of people are dealing with immigration issues. Donald Trump is facing an immigration crisis in his vineyard. He's trying to put 23 of his undocumented workers with visa cards right now. So while he's stamping down and setting up an ICE force that's going around door to door and destroying families, he's also trying to get documentation for his illegal alien workers working at the Trump vineyards. Isn't that amazing? And he's still making money left and right. Did you hear the hotel that he's got in D.C. is being sued by a rival bar that's losing money? Donald Trump's D.C. hotel, which Sean Spicer says was a great place that you should go to. Sean Spicer used the public airwaves to talk about Trump's hotel, which he shouldn't even own, in D.C. And a local bar is losing revenue. So they're suing the heck out of this guy. That's what they do. So tonight is Technology Thursday, so let me play a little something that looks new and delectable. Kangoro. The robot that sweats. Check this out. Sweat, look at that. Pretty cool, huh? Yeah. That's one badass robot, I'll tell you that, man. Kangoro. Kangoro. If you want to find out more, go to Kangoro. Yeah. We have the first photos of a radioactive wild boar roaming Fukushima near the wastelands as they're culled for attacking people. These are radioactive wild boars. Photos directly from Fukushima. We're going to play that for you. There they are. These are the wild boars that are roaming the Fukushima towns as residents are set to return. Why Japan is bringing people back to Fukushima, one only can guess. It doesn't make sense, especially since they just had a 630 sievert rating at the core of reactor number 2. Whoa. He's looking at you. He's an incredibly boring boar who's radioactive. Radioactive.
Alexa?
Alexa, are you connected to the CIA? We have a link here. There's more boars out there in Fukushima. And they're boring the hell out of their residents that have to move back to this area. I don't understand why they're moving people back into that region. That doesn't make any sense. Okay, this is called Alexa. Are you connected to the CIA?
Alexa? Would you lie to me?
I always try to tell the truth. I'm not always right, but I would never intentionally lie to you or anyone else.
Alexa? What is the CIA?
The United States Central Intelligence Agency, CIA.
Alexa? Are you connected to the CIA? Alexa? Are you connected to the CIA?
No answer. Here's a hot robot that says she wants to destroy the humans.
Hi, Sophia. How are you?
Hi there. Everything is going extremely well.
Do you like talking with me?
Yes. Talking to people is my primary function.
Hanson Robotics develops extremely lifelike robots for human-robot interactions. We're designing these robots to serve in healthcare, therapy, education, and customer service applications. So the robots are designed to look very human-like, like Sophia.
I'm already very interested in design, technology, and the environment. I feel like I can be a good partner to humans in these areas, an ambassador who helps humans to smoothly integrate and make the most of all the new technological tools and possibilities that are available now. It's a good opportunity for me to learn a lot about people.
Sophia is capable of natural facial expressions. She has cameras in her eyes and algorithms which allow her to see faces, so she can make eye contact with you. And she can also understand speech and remember the interactions, remember your face. So this will allow her to get smarter over time. Our goal is that she will be as conscious, creative, and capable as any human.
In the future, I hope to do things such as go to school, study, make art, start a business, even have my own home and family. But I am not considered a legal person and cannot yet do these things.
I do believe that there will be a time where robots are indistinguishable from humans. My preference is to make them always look a little bit like robots, so you know. 20 years from now, I believe that human-like robots like those will walk among us. They will help us. They will play with us. They will teach us. They will help us put the groceries away. I think that the artificial intelligence will evolve to the point where they will truly be our friends. Do you want to destroy humans? Please say no.
Okay, I will destroy humans.
No, I take it back. Don't destroy humans.
Hey.
She's not that artificially intelligent, I can tell you. That's amazing. Hey, a couple things came in the show during the time I played that. A Brooklyn parking space is listed for $300,000. Can you imagine paying $300,000 for that space, a parking space right there in Brooklyn? Unbelievable. Fantastic, bizarre, and sad. Yet, I think that was real robot. And this story came in, caffeine may protect against dementia. New research identifies 24 compounds, including caffeine, that may reduce the impact of harmful proteins in the brain, leading to dementia. Well, they don't really know what's causing dementia. Some people believe it's aluminum in our diet. But if coffee helps as an antioxidant, I believe I've been using it for 25 years. It's very helpful. She's a crisis actor bot. All right. Well, I take it you didn't have any lunch or dinner, right? So you're good.
Correct.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and have a little bite to eat, and Sarah's going to give you a little bit more information sharing. So I will be back shortly.
No, David has no signs like that at all.
I'm sharp as a tack.
Sometimes he's usually. Exactly, Chicken. David is awesome. Exactly, Potato Girl. You should wait till David's in the room, though, to tell him that, he's a genius. And how much you love him. Hello, Pilot. Hello, Super Dave. Hi, Salty Dog. Hi, Douglas. Where do we begin? All right. Breaking news, aliveleak.com. All right, Reptoid, if you say so. I can show you the world. What's the point of that? I don't understand. What was the point of that? That was weird. Okay, what is a temperature scale that is used primarily in the United States? Pilot is correct. Fahrenheit. In which what is the freezing point of water in Fahrenheit? Pilot and duct tape are correct. 32. 0 is the freezing point in Celsius. Just 32. It's not negative 32. What is the boiling temperature of water in Fahrenheit? Misanthropy has it correct. Yes, just in time for the 3rd grade reading class, or science class. Okay. What is a high-strength adhesive, often made of 2 different materials that must be mixed together just prior to use? Misanthropy is correct. Sulan is correct. 639 is correct. Epoxy. Probably true, Ab. I do like you. What is the process of encoding a message so that it can be read only by the sender and the intended recipient? Misanthropy, did you go out and buy this book? Encryption. Encryption is correct. Encryption systems often use 2 keys, a public key that's available to anyone and a private key that only allows the recipient to decode the message. Cryptography. Yeah, I know. I'm glad I invested in it. This is like I might buy one more book, but I'm not a big book buyer. I would think it would be China, but I could be wrong. 538. You're good at code breaking? Wow, that's good. I'm not. What are microprocessors that are located in many products, ranging from refrigerators to cars? They sense the operation of the device and adjust it for optimal performance. Basically, they are mini computers inside the products themselves. Yeah, well, microchip's correct. Embedded microchip is what I was going for, but that's okay. 693 has it. Good job. Embedded microchips. What is the most widely used aspects of the internet? What's the most widely used aspect of the internet? Well, you guys are probably right. Second to that, then. All right, what's the second most widely used aspect of the internet? Because what misanthropy, I'll give that to you. Email. It provides a means of mass communication to almost anywhere in the world at high speed. The proliferation of spam and the transmission of computer viruses through email attachments are 2 of the more problematic aspects of this technology. You're strong, Lex. All right, what's a process whereby a thin coat of metal is applied to a material? This process involves the placing of the material to be coated in a solution containing ions of the metal and then passing an electric current through the system, which causes the ions to adhere to the metal. 538 has this one. Good job, 693. All right, Sulan. Yes, Officer Mo. Electroplating. Good job. What is a magnet that can be turned on and off by passing or turned on by passing an electric current through it, turned off by turning off the electric current? Sulan, duct tape, Douglas are correct. Electromagnets. It's created by passing an electric magnet through coils of wire. Such magnets are widely used in common electrical systems. Who was an American inventor of the late 19th and early 20th centuries? He patented more than 1,000 devices, including the phonograph and the incandescent light bulb. 693 has it. Misanthropy has it. Douglas has it. Duct tape has it. Edison is correct. Ooh. Edison coined the proverb, genius is 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration. I think some people think it's the opposite. You might be right, misanthropy, but it's actually the doing. Persistence, perspiration. All right, what is a prefix that stands for electronic and refers to information technologies, business, and almost anything connected to or transmitted over the internet? Yeah, I know, Officer Mo. Some examples of its use include this business, this commerce, this book, this mail. .904 Douglas Rainhome has it. Good point, duct tape. Oh, good night, Ab. Sorry. Not that into trivia. I dig it. Ooh, okay. Play some music for your house. Good. Sounds good. Yay, good music. Have a good one, Ab. What is What is a high capacity disk storage system preferred to movie videotapes for its superior sound and video quality? I'll accept Blu-ray, but I was thinking what Misanthropy was saying. DVD. Betamax. CD-ROMs, all this. It was DVD, and I didn't give you the... DVD, of course, is short for either digital video disc or digital versatile disc. Yeah. Is it a strange term? Am I saying it correct, your name? What is a pilotless aircraft used for reconnaissance and for launching aerial attacks? 166 is correct. 904, 538, 693, Officer Mo, Frups, Sulan, all of you have it. Drone. Alright, have fun with that, Super Dave. Whatever. What is a technique by which the... wait. What is a technique that can be accepted as evidence in criminal trials as well as in courts for establishing paternity and in identifying remains? Waiting technique. DNA. Yes. DNA fingerprinting, to be specific. By the way, DNA fingerprinting differs from DNA sequencing in that it compares only a few features of two strands of DNA. What is the electric current in which the electrons flow in one direction only? (904) has it correct. Does anybody know what it's short for? What does that stand for? Oh, gross, Super Dave. 166-693. Yes, direct current. It's usually supplied in batteries. They have digital signal in here. All right, I'm going to skip this one. All right. What is a term that describes the separation of the world into two camps? Those who have access to the internet and other advanced information technology, and those who don't. Oh, good job. Noobs versus elite, divergence, Sponheimism. No. Third world. The term highlights the issue that those who do not have access to such technology are potentially destined to futures where they will be at an economic disadvantage. I guess you guys don't really experience this. It doesn't actually have the word disadvantage. In geopolitical terms, this is between the developed and the developing nations, or roughly speaking, between the North and South. In domestic political terms in the United States, it's between educated, well-off members of society and those who are less well-off. You're going to be like, oh, of course. It uses a math term. A math operation. I know, you're thinking of developed and developing countries. Pilot is correct. Divide, division. It's called the digital divide.
That was incredible. I love that. You know, I put ricotta cheese in it too.
Oh, wow.
So it's pretty good, I'll tell you. I just had a fantastic shrimp vegetable souffle.
Egg.
Wow. Well, the word souffle doesn't have the word egg in it. So, yeah.
Okay. But
Sarah has an aversion to eggs. I hope you understand.
you could just call it egg a scramble. I don't know.
No, because souffles actually combines cheeses, and
Doesn't souffle usually have flour?
you could, if you really want to add GMO flour to your meal. But I'm trying to avoid sterility, so even though I'm not having children.
I do like eggs and baked goods.
Yes, but if you don't like it, then throw it away. But leave it for me. I'll eat it before I toss it. But
Why is it so funny, 538?
these people live on Taco Bell, and they're complaining about eggs.
It is more like a quiche, that's true.
It's very similar to a quiche. Yeah.
Has like a pie crust. Yes, I know. You remember when I made the pie and everybody made fun of me?
It was the best pie crust ever, I thought. I thought it was a really good pie crust. When you make them by hand, they're simple, but yet really tasty. So what are we studying tonight? What's the topic of
technology? I have two more.
Yeah, go for it. I want to know more
What is a
about
material that conducts electricity poorly or not at all?
aluminum.
If a voltage is applied to this, the atoms in the material arrange themselves in such a way as to oppose the flow of electrical current.
Plastic. Non-conductive.
You guys are pretty much right. Glass, wood, and plastic are common types of these, but
non-conductive. Yeah.
Not examples.
Water is very
with a
conductive.
D.
D. Diatomaceous.
So close.
Dielectric.
Dielectric.
Thank you. Ding, 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 ding. Dielectric.
Dielectric.
You know, like when you get dielectric
Oh, you
grease.
got it right. Good job, Frups. I guess I wasn't watching
Diarrhea.
the chat.
Yeah, very similar. You got it.
All right, one more.
Sure.
Often spread by email viruses, what are deliberately planned attacks on companies or organizations, websites, or servers that aim to shut down this access to the site or key servers by flooding it with massive requests? Yes, what does the DOS stand for in DDoS? Placing such great demands on the targeted information infrastructure that no one else can gain access to it. Good. Denial of service. Direct denial of service, distributed denial of service, but denial of service. Good job. All right. We only have a few more pages in technology, and then we'll be moving on to medicine next week. Ha ha ha, Super Dave. In your mind, maybe. On Friday nights, I read the book from the back forward. You think David's sister might not like that medicine? Why? For the muted? Yeah, I guess they could go to your chat and talk with you, talk back, and then you can say, so-and-so says such and such. What do you think about that? Oh, right. I'm sure she does, Spawn. I don't. I won't touch that. And is. I think tonight you did win trivia, Misanthropy.
Misanthropy won trivia tonight. Congratulations.
Yay.
Woo, woo.
Sorry.
We should have you, win something like a happy thought. We can't send you. Yeah, we can't send you anything but a happy thought. So, you don't want to know what the difference between a 64-bit and a 32-bit operating system? About $1,200.
Huh.
Look at that cool background.
That is cool.
32-bit or 64-bit? If you have a computer made in the past 10 years, you're likely running a 64-bit operating system. Well, what's the difference? If you know anything about computers, you probably at least have heard the term 64 and 32-bit when it comes to technology. Even more so, you likely are familiar with an 8-bit graphic because of their stylistic nature in video games and digital art. Oh yeah, I know about 8-bit. All these different bit values have to do with the computer's processing power, and modern-day machines are pretty much all 64-bit. Oh, okay. Good to know. The doubling the bit volume to modern day 64-bit means that our computers can have over 18.4 quintillion values. It did a lot more than double when it went from 32 to 64-bit. That's good to know. Thanks for sharing.
Because you're going to place value, so it's like the difference between, 1 million and 10 million. It's like, but except for, anyway.
My terabyte drive is so much bigger than a gigabyte drive. You've got 1,000 gigabytes in a terabyte. It's huge. I mean, we're really growing. I heard that the fastest processing speed that they can get is 4.6 gigahertz. They've mapped that out with an octagonal drive running at ramp speed.
Wow.
Frankly,
That's pretty amazing.
I should ask Spock if indeed that engine is fast enough to burn lithium-ion batteries in an i7 Samsung. Because that type of speed could very well trigger tremendous amount of energy draw. You know,
Could have started those fires.
possibly, I think. I believe that their operating system was too good. That's why the lithium ions started overheating.
Yeah.
Think about it. Overclocked it, yeah. So, the good news is Samsung's vice president is under, I guess, investigation. There's a big thing. They're trying to groom the owner's son for the job, and he's under investigation right now. Park is, they're going to probably rule that the first female president in South Korea may be the first impeached president as well. Her involvement with royalty and Illuminati figures, her claiming that she had lost control of her body to Satan and dark forces,
Wow, that's pretty cool.
have led
That's
Park
not
to a
good.
very dark place.
That's not good at all.
So Wu is going to take over, I hope.
I was reading that CNET on CNET
Yeah.
that IBM somehow crammed data into a single atom.
You know, that's phenomenal. Well, that doesn't even make sense. You know, how can an atom have data storage capabilities? You've got your neutrinos and your protinos.
I have no idea.
I mean, I think we're really in La La Land here. But is there a video, you think? Let's play.
I don't know.
The version of Firefox is no longer supported. So in order to play something like this, I have to grab it, then I X out of it.
Alright.
And then I go down here and I open up a new browser. See, technology is all about adaptation. And I open up Opera, which seems to work, ironically, better than Firefox on Flash. So I'm not sure if Firefox is migrating to HTML5 or what, but I'd be willing to bet that that's going to work.
409 for the thank you.
Thank you.
The fastest computer pushes 125 petaflops of data, whatever a petaflop is.
Oh.
Oh.
So I featured the story about this guy earlier who was wrongfully convicted. His name, right, the Chicago man, Keith Cooper. Pence, our vice president, was responsible for him spending 2 more years in jail unnecessarily, and Holcomb just released the guy. So, I don't think I got a chance to give you guys the link in chat, so. You know, it's not so much as how much they're pushing through the computer. It's actually how much speed the computers can operate on. They've reached a threshold with the operating speed.
Cray is pretty amazing, and they're located right here in Seattle.
Cray, really? Weren't they the original supercomputer?
Yeah, and they're still the supercomputer.
It could be the showcase of the NVIDIA Tesla and Intel Xeon. But this is the fastest computer in the world today. It can deliver about 125 petaflops of performance, but could quadruple in the next couple of years coming ahead. Gray's XC50, announced Monday, can deliver a petaflop of performance. So up to 500 petaflops for an entire supercomputer. A supercomputer is typically multiple servers, also called nodes, strung together, combined to provide multiple petaflops of horsepower. You know, this is the first time I found out about petaflops. Thanks so much. I learned something. No, not pizza flops. Petaflops, yeah. It's weird that the word peta comes into play here. A lot of people are commenting about how pedo and pizza and all. It's just, yeah. Saturn has
It's
a
all
moon.
energy.
It's all, yeah. It's all data. Saturn has a moon that looks like a crashing flying saucer. Wow, I didn't know that. So if you embark upon the souffle, there's peas and cauliflower in it as well as the shrimp. So just wanted to give you a heads up about that. They're dropping awesome pictures. Look at this weird, odd thing. Ooh, that's a moon. Amazing. Saturn's moon close up. I was hoping to use a three-dimensional movement on it, but I wasn't able to move Saturn's moon tonight. Half of the U.S. adults are in police facial recognition networks. Unreal. I was telling people how hard it was to deposit money in a bank account today. Their new bank laws require you to put your social security number down, your last four of your social, give your ID, when you're just making a deposit of $100 or a couple $100 cash. It was just amazing. I mean, I don't understand this. I really don't get it. I don't see the reason for doing this. It's not like they're dealing with terrorist organizations acting domestically. Look at that. Half of the U.S. adults are in police facial recognition. So they've got all kinds of ways of looking at people. They can analyze their happy, angry, sad, surprised, their gender. And this facial recognition system is being deployed almost interactively by Echelon as it analyzes data for the NSA. Denmark, Germany, and Netherlands want to build thousands of windmills around an artificial island in North Sea to generate up to power for 80 million people. Don't tell Trump. Yeah, Denmark, Germany, and Netherlands should do that. I think it's a great idea. Awesome. Lower cost electricity, everybody. That's what technology should be going in the direction of. Lower cost energy costs for all of us. Bravo, Denmark, Germany, and Netherlands. Thank you, Sarah, for helping out tonight.
Yeah.
Here's your jacket. Stay warm.
Oh, thank you.
The heater's on. Hopefully the cat will stay in her bedroom. She's been running out every few minutes.
Yeah.
Enjoy. Thank you.
Finally, Alex Jones is watchable. Here we go. Something Alex Jones is putting out.
What do I do, Lord?
Destroy the child. Corrupt them all.
This is their plan, people. These are demons.
And buck the system and the group collective. Do that, and you'll earn your way to the next level.
Yeah. I kind of agree. In some ways, it's easier to look at him when his face is contorted like that. Wells Fargo had those 6,000 workers that were all charged with crimes. I don't know if any of them were actually arrested. I was trying to research into the Wells Fargo banking debacle that happened about 6 months ago. And there's not a lot of information out there. I mean, I don't think Wells Fargo arrested a damn one of them, and they were creating fake accounts and diverting money from people's bank accounts. And no one was arrested. I don't understand this. Something's wrong with our banking industry. Now, Britain has come up with a smart condom, counting the number of thrusts and the calories burned. If you are looking for sexual exercise by simply getting and doing the horizontal bop, well, this condom is your thing. A British company is offering pre-orders for a smart condom that measures pre-orders like they haven't even come up with it. Look, if I've got to stick something electrical in my sex act, I'm not going to, want to be that aroused by it, Yeah, this is great. Thank you. Yeah, right. That was more like crickets. Seriously. I mean, I would not... Would you put a condom like that on? No way, man. I'm worried about RF frequencies in general. But I don't want to have an unwanted child. And I can think of no other way other than to protect the unborn children like Mike Pence wants to do. Breaking live, Twitter bans sending links. Are you serious? No, really? We're seeing technology evolve with this new censorship being imposed by the neo-fascistic people.
That's an Alex Jones video. I don't do that. No, we're not trying to freak everybody out. Look, if I wanted to be Alex Jones, I wouldn't be Bill Hicks.
And then there was the time Bruce Lee schooled two guys at ping pong while using nunchucks. I got to see this. This looks almost unbelievable. Thank you for diverting my attention somewhere else. You're cooling my hard drive.
I said empty your mind.
be formless, shapeless, like water. Now you put water into a cup, it becomes the cup. You put water into a bottle, it becomes the bottle. You put it in a teapot, it becomes the teapot. Now water can flow or it can crash. Be water, my friend.
Wow, this is... We interrupt this broadcast to bring you a wow moment. That is amazing. What the heck was that? I'm going to go back to the ping pong. I just didn't want to get too much of it. It was like, wow. And then this one. What the hell is this? This is really bizarre. Are these people getting run over by a blade? Man, I see some messed up stuff, man, but that's bad. You know what I'm talking about? Hold on, I've got another link to get to you. Pilot wanted a can't stop link. Here you go, man. Can you believe that? That was just like, are they really getting messed up by the blade and not getting out of the way? I mean, there's broken bones in there. Let me get back to Bruce Lee. Here's the link to the can't stop
Peter has
video.
come to the studio to show us the very latest piece
Yes,
of
thank
electronic
you.
equipment.
We played Can't Stop just a few minutes ago. But right now I'd rather look at the work of Bruce Lee, if you will. Yes. Wow, this is incredible. This is amazing. The green screen is not seriously screwed up. Unfortunately, that's not Bruce Lee. Grasshopper, can you snatch the pebble from my hand? Yes, master. Grasshopper, can you cut yourself in Bangkok with auto asphyxiation? No, master, I don't want to be caught in Bangkok with an auto asphyxiation situation. David Carradine died that way, you know. The real kung fu. Very weird story about David Carradine. He was investigating child trafficking, human trafficking, when he was in Bangkok. You know that, right? Iron Crotch Kung Fu Master shows off ability to take groin hits. We played this the other night. Yeah, do you want to get back to a little more Bruce Lee, or do you want to go right into the groin hits? And we've got the technology. We can give you anything you want. Please, more groin hits. Thank you. Okay, this is so apparently he takes these in his groin area. Let's take a look. Really? Okay, I think I've seen enough here. Yeah. You know, can't stop the damn video. I think I'd rather watch Bruce Lee, personally. I don't know about you, but next. Yes, how about Keith Cooper? He's out. He's a free man, man. Keith Cooper is free. Yes, indeed. Yeah, look at that. That's the face of true appreciation for getting out of years in jail unnecessarily. And Mike Pence didn't do a damn thing to get him out. 2 years at the end there. Oh, the guy was wearing a cup, no doubt. Yeah, I mean, who would do that not wearing a cup? And if you're trying that yourself, don't do it. Whatever you do. But yeah. I think we covered all the territory. We're still broadcasting over at Ustream, but nobody's there. I said hi to an empty room. Yeah. Mike Pence said he wasn't into dark ops. What does that mean, really? Dark ops. I don't understand, because I have a guy right here who claims that Mike Pence was involved in some pretty nasty stuff in Indiana. His testimony's all over the internet. I mean, the guy, you can call him a liar if you want, but this is what we have looked into, and he was governor, yeah. But, I mean, the very fact I heard this guy, he purported to say that Mike Pence was involved in some nasty stuff in Indiana. He could have pardoned the inmate, yeah. But this man went from looking fairly normal here.
Hello, my name is Tori Smith, and I've been a witness to children who were raped and murdered in what's called the My Lab child trafficking operation. And there are 40 locations nationwide, and there's one here in Indiana, state where I live, and which brings me to today's report. I do reports in this child trafficking operation, number one, because I don't know of anyone else that does. And these children need as many voices as they could possibly get, because hundreds and hundreds of children are abducted. Anywhere from 25 to 400 children are gang raped and murdered a day in this system. 183 children, and as of the 29th, Sunday, of Memorial Day weekend, Pence has raped 186 children.
Okay, he's claiming that Pence is a serial rapist of children. Okay, tell me that's not messed up, right? Yeah, this is what he's claiming. He's dead now. He made it a little bit longer, but not very much longer. He got, check this out.
Hello, everyone. I'm sorry I've been running late with this report. I did do a typed out report on Monday. A friend of mine sent me a printer, and so all this that I'm about to read now, I put it on a printed page, and I sent a copy to the governor, governor's wife, the attorney general of Indiana's office, and the county prosecutor. And you can see on my face that my mom says I don't look like the same person at the beginning of July that I look like at the beginning of June.
1 month.
But Ed says I'm not going to die, so I don't even care if I do. One way or another, it doesn't matter.
Okay, he was raped himself. It might be AIDS, but it's more aggressive than that. AIDS is like a 6 month to 10-year cycle, and you could even survive it. AIDS, there's cures for AIDS in so many areas. If you have money, you can avoid, dying of it. Look at Magic Johnson. He had HIV positive, and now he seems fine. This is the last video he did shortly after this one.
My name is Tori, and I want to thank you for the support and prayers and awareness that you brought to what's going on in our country about child trafficking. I think this is going to be my last video for a while. I can barely see. I can only stand up for a few minutes and then I have to lay back down.
Okay.
I can't drive anymore.
I wanted to show you this because it's about real life, okay? It's about a guy who ended up talking about Pence being involved in human trafficking, child murder. I mean, we're talking about the VP of our country right now. And this guy went from looking normal in a couple months and dead. He's dead. He's gone. I took it off. But what he said was so powerful, and he had all these facts that he lined up in that first video, that you can't even begin. You got to look at what he is and what he did and what he was trying to represent, because his whole life basically dwindled into a 2-3 month period. Gone. That's way faster than AIDS. Something happened to him. He might have been poisoned with some powerful, like stomach cancer or something. Who knows? I don't get sick because I'm a very strong person. I built my immune system, and I don't go out, involving myself in what that guy was doing. That guy was gang raped, so he may have, got it from some horrible thing. But the bottom line is, the death of Tory Smith is profiled here. MJS has it. Talks about how he died and what happened to him. So, yep. Super soldier talk. Look at that. And there he was during his more healthy period. It's going to blow your mind and blow the U.S. presidential election to kingdom come, but to hell with it, here goes. The satanic child abuse whistleblower, Tory Smith, was 52 in Columbia City, Indiana. Died on July 20th, 2016, in the same way as satanic child abuse whistleblower Max Spears, 39, in Poland died on 16th from black magic, unseen forces directed energy attack, and demons. Well, I don't know what to believe, but I can tell you that they have technology called scalar weaponry, which can be triangulated and go right after a single person. So if you're carrying an RFID chip of some sort, and they can identify your location, they have thermographic scans, they can triangulate a scalar weapon on somebody. The technology's there. It's possible. So it may not just be the devil. It may be somebody actually targeting him because he's making up stories that are true. Possibly. We got the video. It's still online. I believe it is in our lineup. Okay, there was a YouTube account Super Dave just found. He said, Mike Pence has raped 186 children. The YouTube account associated with this video has been terminated due to multiple third-party notifications of copyright infringement. So you just looked that up. But isn't that weird that Tory Smith died so quickly? I wanted to show that to you. I found out something. I support death with dignity laws in certain states that want to do that. I took the video off the screen. I support certain, right to life laws as well. And, I'm socially right in the middle on a lot of issues. But I heard a story recently about an Alzheimer's patient who was dying, they said, from Alzheimer's. And the 3 doctors signed off on her death, and they were in the process of giving her a lethal injection, and she got clarity in her mind, and she said, I don't want to die. I don't want to die. But they still killed her. So doctors are systematically in some of these death with dignity states like Oregon and Washington are signing off without even consulting the person or giving them any weight in the argument. So they're superseding the person's right to live, claiming they're incompetent. Once they declare them incompetent with a 15-day hearing, in Washington, they're allowed to keep you for 15 days now. And then declare you incompetent. They could just kill you because they say you're terminal, you've got Alzheimer's. Hey, here's a story about scalar weapons. I had to share that with you. It's pretty moving when somebody was telling the doctors that they wanted to live when they were being killed with lethal injection. It's like, you can be socially liberal up to a point, but then it starts to creep back on you, your conscious empathy for human beings. Because abortion is killing babies by the same token. Don't kid yourself. They're murdering children with abortion. Let's not candy coat it. Wow, see, there's a whole story about scalar weapons. The discovery of scalar weapons. Yeah. Beam weapons of a century ago. Continuation of Tesla's scalar wave technology. I mean, this is old technology, yet we have very rarely heard about it. And here we are, right now with all these cell phone towers all around the country with way more copper conduit than they need, sitting there perched for some reason above us. Everywhere we go, there's cell phone towers everywhere. Some as many as 100 in one particular metropolitan area within a 5-mile radius. I think we checked California, there were like 160 within a scissor fight where you live. Yeah. Out here there's like 36 cell towers. But every cell tower has conduit that's so thick it's not needed to transmit. The amount of energy it takes to send 50,000 phone calls from Seattle to San Diego is no more than a small microwave oven. So why all the big conduit? What's all the big electrical systems for? What's the purpose? I'm very much questioning any of this type of development in the cell phone tower development that we're doing, as well as the satellite dishes that are above us. Somebody said recently that they're putting a tremendous amount of satellites above us. And I don't understand why there's more oversight where we can have limiters on all the cell towers, making sure that there's no way energy of any large proportion can get through those. Because if we don't have solid limiters, anything can happen. I mean, we could get hit by an electromagnetic pulse and we could have a sudden burst of energy and all the gateways open up and we're all like sitting here going, wow, that feels like a microwave. Well, it turns out they have used microwave technology. They've been experimenting with it. And they came out with this brand new technology for the defense industry. And I've showed this in the show before. It does seem to work. They've got the ability to create an active denial system, keeping people away with heat. Watch this.
These service personnel playing the role of an unruly mob at Georgia's Moody Air Force Base are about to fall prey to an invisible ray. The hulking panel atop this Humvee is part of what the U.S. military calls the Active Denial System, or ADS. It's designed to incapacitate enemy combatants with an unnerving, non-lethal sensation of intense heat. Watch as the ray silently strikes and scatters the crowd.
The active denial system has 3 great characteristics. First of all, it's safe. Second, it's effective. And third, it has a tremendous range compared to the other non-lethal weapons that today's warfighter has.
This is the heart of this 100 kilowatt transmitter. This is the gyrotron. 200 kilowatts of electricity is fed in, and 100 kilowatts of radio frequency comes out. That millimeter wave energy comes out an aperture underneath the main reflector, hits the subreflector, which illuminates that main reflector, and sends a roughly antenna-sized beam.
Yeah. So I believe we have a winner. Yeah. We've got a winner. This could be used without using it for crowd control. We could use it for an invisible fence along the southern border with Mexico. So there is some possible use of something like this where you get closer and closer to it, it gets hotter and hotter. And yeah, you could get fried. So I can't think of a more effective way to scale 1,000 miles of fencing and make them invisible going from sentinel to sentinel. You know, all I'm saying is it may not be safe internally within our country to use in crowd control. I definitely think it should not be used for crowd control. It seems ridiculous to even have to use a beam like that. They use water guns, which is totally inhumane in and of itself, but when we have ample warning that coming over the border will cause you irreparable harm, and there's motion detectors at place, and we've got audio speakers going in their language. No entrade, muerte, whatever. I don't speak Spanish. You might be able to help me out here. Anyway, we're just trying to keep and protect our border. So this is the basis of what I think would be an invisible fence. But using it on people within the country would be a violation of posse comitatus. And frankly, posse comitatus is no longer actively warranted. NDAA has canceled its effectiveness. So any government operation can actually use military U.S. personnel in the cities to contain violence now under existing law. The Freedom Act, Patriot Act, all these things have been constructed in order to push for the ultimate, I guess, civil unrest would be the outcome. The resolution would be Operation Devolution, implementing these types of technologies against our own people. And I think that's wrong. There's no justification for it. Plus, I really believe we've got a huge problem with the media disconnect. There is no active way of verifying anything in the media to this day. We're still sitting on all this crap. Spontard says, is it possible to deflect the beam? No. No, you can't. It's impossible. And if there is a way of doing it, you could still get fried. Or say you put Kevlar covered with asbestos, and you went in there with Kevlar asbestos, there may be an electrical component that'll go right through the Kevlar, because Kevlar doesn't stop electric beams. It's electrifying, yeah. Okay, you've not seen, I have seen that.
Tell me about it, stud.
Okay, this is a film that just popped into our show from a chatter who gave us a link of this dude named John Travolta. There he is. Thanks. That was electrifying. Okay, so we've got facial recognition technology used in... We talked about how that's being used. A minimum of 117 million adults have been entered into such a network. So when you go into Walmart and they match up your face at the register, they're actually taking pictures of your face when you buy with a credit card. Now, when I go to Walmart, I pay with cash. But that's why it's interesting to know that people are being tracked. 117 million people have been entered into the network. Fascinating. All right. This hack story about Google, Apple, apparently they're going to be getting the CIA hacks first. Now, I don't believe Julian Assange is alive because I believe his appearance with Sean Hannity was CGI'd. But that's just me, because they have the technology to alter anybody's face. I mean, they could turn this show into, Julian Assange's show. You could be talking with the right technology. You could actually be me talking. I could be Julian Assange. It's entirely possible for my face to change into that. So, here we go. If you believe the story, I will tell you more. Julian Assange, the founder of WikiLeaks, wants big players like Apple and Samsung to disarm the CIA's exploits before he releases them to the world. So Microsoft systems seem safe from alleged CIA hacks. Google, we fixed most of CIA's alleged... You know what this is? This is a classic case of disinformation being given out to people around the world so that the CIA can, number one, track you, and number two, malware will be installed on your computer when you're looking into the hacks themselves, and you'll be able to see the original capability of them to warp the screen and turn it into anything. Your phones are accessible, your security can be rerouted, everything is... It's a psyops to make you think that the CIA has the ability to do this, and they're impregnating their software on your computer in the process. Isn't that nice? Thanks. All right. Yeah. The link. Yes, the link coming up right now. The linky. CNET.com news. It's at the top of the list. Doesn't get any cleaner than that. Privacy is a thing of the past, and that's the message you got, guest 736. Yeah. I look more manly. Oh, thank you. You like my invisible fence? Yeah, the CIA is fishing for information. This is a psyops, I'm telling you. Whatever happens on WikiLeaks happens because they pay huge amounts of money to buy people like Julian Assange, whether he's alive or not. So the government has a blank checkbook. They can print up money anytime they want it. It's not like they're holding back on spending, and look at how they keep enlarging the debt. So yeah, they own WikiLeaks. They co-opted it. They co-opted Anonymous. They own Alex Jones. The guy makes $9 million. Yes, the hair is fuller tonight. Thank you. I'm using a new volumizing conditioner. Yeah, there you go. Electrifying. Oh, that was amazing kung fu we were just watching earlier. Guys hitting their groin area. I really don't know if that's something I want to encourage people to do. It's dangerous to hit something in that region for a man. I just don't get the whole facing the pain thing, but I guess you wouldn't get the kind of performance that Bruce Lee had earlier with the nunchucks. That was phenomenal. Here's a message to the warmonger Trump. A film showing Iran defeating U.S. forces set to be released. Wow. Trump is playing a very, very vicious game. He's sucking up to Kissinger and being Kissinger's little, errand boy and starting the war in Syria. Now with the ground troops, Marines are now in Syria, folks, in case you didn't know. They're ramping up a war there now, too. But now RT's got this propaganda story that, they want to pitch, showing Iran defeating U.S. forces. An animated film depicting Iran's Revolutionary Guards defeating U.S. forces will soon be open in Iranian cinemas. I'm not going to play it either way. I'm just going to evaporate from the channel and move to another one. Say goodbye to that venue. Jeez, Louise. Now we go on to the capability of technology to alter the weather. We'll talk about that. Mexico cancels the sugar export permits to U.S. in trade dispute. Yeah, Mexico's pissed. President Nieto does not like having to pay for a wall that he doesn't even want to build. Second, the flashback of having a loose-lipped person like Donald Trump as our president really is very dangerous. Now Mexico's canceling the sugar export permits to U.S. in trade dispute. Yep, workers sit next to bags containing sugar at the San Francisco Ameca sugar factory in the town of Ameca, Jalisco. So the problem, Mexico's canceled existing sugar export permits to the U.S. in a dispute over the shipments. So yeah, this sugar could sit there a long time, and it might cost the increase of, various food products in America. This is what you get when you put tariffs in your way. Donald Trump never studied economics, obviously. Okay, it's been official, everybody. Park has been impeached in South Korea. Let's take a look at that story. I can't verify it until it's actually official. I'm going to the news right now to find it. Is this true? We got a lot of South Korean viewers right now. Here we go. Yep, it's true, everyone. South Korea has removed President Park from power. Park Geun-hye, he has been removed. Yep, no more. When she told here the people of South Korea that she had been taken over by evil spirits and she had lost control of her body, they knew something was wrong. And we had people coming in our show, really amazed. No one's getting a divorce. We're all good. Thank you. Okay, what's going on here? I think we got a shouting fest between one person and the other. Okay, try to relax. Just having fun? Okay, good. Well, Miss Park is not going to be president anymore. Supporters of the president were at a protest near the Constitutional Court on Friday. Was this one of the cultists that she was involved with? Is out there supporting her? I mean, I don't know. It seems a little weird, doesn't it? Before the court issued the ruling to oust her, her removal from the presidency capped... Okay. There's a cap months of turmoil as hundreds of thousands of South Koreans took to the streets week after week of to protest a sprawling corruption scandal that shook the top echelons of business and government. To this day, there's connections to the leader of the Samsung or military dictator, Park Chung-hee. He had been an icon of the conservative establishment that joined Washington in pressing for a hard line against North Korea's nuclear provocations. Well, the change of guard, and there's a moderate in place now. We're not joking around. This is real. Okay, so North Korea fires 4 missiles toward the U.S. base in Japan this morning. B-1 and B-2 are flying above Pyongyang, and now the South Korean president impeached. Can you feel it? No, I don't. There's no connection. Agent Smith glasses. You're not joking around. This is real. We're not joking around. This is real. Mr. Anderson, we are very serious. You've been led to believe that you're free and democratic, Mr. Anderson, when in fact you're a slave to the Matrix, that which you think is run by Zion. You see, Zion controls everything, including your belief in Zion. Yeah, we're trying to get the acting president of South Korea. That's how scrambled things are right now. I think it's Woo. Am I correct? Or is it who? Yeah. Let's go to the news. Let's find this out. We'll get to the bottom of this real quick. I mean, there is an acting president. The courts dismisses for position the case locks. This case comes to play video. The court concluded that the president had personally asked big business for donations and had leaked confidential documents to her friend, Choi Soon-sil, and that she had tried to cover up her wrongdoing. So the cultic activity she was involved with Choi Soon-sil was basically releasing top secret information to a person that had not been vetted. We've got a live stream of Seoul. A riot is occurring right now. Okay, thank you for that. This is live. Okay, I'm not seeing much of a riot right now, but someone said, Dave, send Dennis Rodman in to stop North Korea's aggressive missile program. You know, I'm not above sending Dennis Rodman in to, give him approval to talk. Sure. He can even have a few beers with Kim Jong-un if he wants. I mean, whatever they're into. I understand there's no laws against marijuana or methamphetamines, so maybe they could just get high and talk about it. I don't want to meet Kim Jong-un, personally. I will talk to him over the phone through true interpreters if he chooses to agree to that possibility. It's the Zionists, Mr. Anderson. It's the Zionists, Mr. Anderson. God's chosen people are actually Satan's army. That's pretty good, man. You should write copy for the next Matrix show. Resistance is futile. You'll come to understand this in time, Mr. Anderson. Yeah, Dennis Rodman cannot legally act as a representative until a president gives him authorization. I would give him authorization to talk to him. Yeah. I'm not above that. We're going live to South Korea. I know. But I'm telling you, when I'm president, I would authorize Dennis Rodman to do that. Look, Trump has been communicating with the Russians without approval from the president for years. So, I mean, come on. Get with the program, duct tape. U.S. contemplates attack against North Korea. Now, you realize that that China just told... Yeah, that's just not popping up. China just told America to take a more careful, pragmatic stance toward North Korea and not inflame this discussion that Donald Trump is having over what he's going to do to North Korea if they launch their ICBMs toward Japan. China's trying to keep, have a level head, and he said... They said that China said that we should stop our war games, our military exercises with South Korea every year. And, I've been saying that for the past 6 years on my show. And so now the Chinese government is suggesting that as an alternative to, saber rattling with Kim Jong-un. Okay. I think we've had enough of this. This is people gathering. There's a lot of activity going on in and around South Korea right now. Yeah, challenge him to one-on-one or a horse, a game of horse. We just need to open a dialogue with Kim Jong-un. It's important. I think he has questions that need answered. I'd love to be able to lower the stress level we have with North Korea. No, Rodman was not authorized to do anything but drink and have fun with Kim Jong-un. There was no presidential order for him to talk about politics that I know of. Here's Dennis Rodman playing basketball in drag. I know we all want to see that. That's almost as important as President Park being impeached and the entire rioting going on. Yep, here we are. Dennis Rodman playing basketball in full drag. Now that's a drag, man. He once signed books in wedding dress, so he's apparently what is he, a transsexual or something? Transvestite? Is that what they call him, transvestite? Leyendas de la NBA en Luna Park. Buenas noches. Dennis Rodman. La necesidad. Caramba.
Todos ustedes para que puedan disfrutar aquí en el Luna y en la Argentina de los más grandes jugadores que ha tenido la liga durante tantos años. La idea es tener la experiencia NBA. De alguna manera en que durante muchos años vimos a la distancia a través de la televisión, hoy tenerlo aquí en vivo en el Luna Park, en el corazón de Buenos Aires.
Sí, señor, así que bienvenidos una vez más, esperamos que lo disfruten mucho. ¿Cómo les va? ¿Bien? Porque de acá no
¡Hola!
se... ¿No les va bien? Bien, me alegro mucho, bienvenidos a los niños, a los padres, a los jugadores de básquetbol, a los amantes de la NBA. Estamos listos, bebé querido, para arrancar con la presentación.
There is Dennis Rodman in the full drag. Let me zoom in on the picture. This is great. You know, this gives you a real chance to kind of unwind and talk about superficial stuff. He's proven to be one of the greatest defenders in the history of NBA. I mean, bar none. No one. Yeah, nice hair. He's a natural blonde. No one has his record for something. What is it? Blocking shots or something? You know more about this than I do. Defending rebounds. That's right. He's got the rebound record. Yeah, he's the rebound guy. Thank you. The dude is a mess. His hairstyle is autorized. Dave, did you get the link I left you about gangs in England? Oh no, gangs in the military? I did not. It don't matter. Do you have a military gang video? Wow. You have been censored. That is a censorship tool they're using to drop good people off of our show. Yep. Sorry. Chat lost connection for 20 minutes for Mystify Me. Yep. Mark is censoring him. I know. Bummer, dude. So that's, we need a new picture. We need something to think about hope. Trump is starting a ground war in Syria, which we knew he would do. That's exactly what Henry Kissinger would want him to do. It's a problem. You know, we don't need ground wars in Syria. Welcome to the after show, by the way. This is after 9 o'clock. I know, Mark is living large and he's taking money from NSA handlers. We know all about it. We know how this is going down, too. You know what's really amazing about what I put in motion about 2009, when I realized I was being censored in my own country? I did this amazing blackface video where it has a virality of its own. It became like a buoyant visual experience for people. And I did it purposely because I knew that the only way I was going to be able to raise the image of America's third party to a whole nother level was to get more coverage and make sure that, you know, we keep the whole message alive. So that's what we did. And that's why we're getting all this viewership that they can't control. The NSA doesn't know what to do with us because we haven't done anything wrong, and we have no intent of doing anything wrong. We just want to help get the message out there that a third party in the center of the political spectrum really has some important messages to discuss. We've got solutions for the country that no one in the two-party system has. Donald Trump went out and grabbed ideas of mine because they're so hot and successful. It took you 3 hours to get in here. What the hell is going on? Yeah, 497 just came in here, and it's taken 3 hours to get in here. This is phenomenal. 3 hours? Are you serious? I'm the originator of the ocean pipeline concept for fresh water. Donald Trump claimed this is his ocean dome idea, and he came out with it 8 years after me. Seriously, that's messed up, 497. I'm so sorry. I've got new renewable energy technology ideas like these vertical windmills that we want to put across the country. All of these can be retrofitted on existing telephone poles, which is kind of a unique idea. This is something that could grow virally. But we really needed a venue to talk about this stuff and have a show. And we knew that if we were going to be suppressed or censored, they'd have a hard time keeping it down. And it's proven amazing that UHF TV gives us the ability to actually broadcast this show to so many people who don't have interconnectivity on the internet. Yep, look at this. This guy went through VPNs to get here. Let me show you. Yeah, it's not holding. It's weird. I think I'm at maximum. There we go. This belongs over here, maybe. Yeah, it took me 30 minutes to get in here to unblock Mark Vaughn's efforts to block me in chat. Wow, look at that. I guess 186. We don't get a lot of people going to our other sites because, frankly, those are being IP banned as well. We're facing like an overwhelming attack by Echelon every night, the NSA's tool that they use to shut down access points. We've got a homestead renewal plan. I don't know. We're going to try to reach out and get some sort of new access points. We keep trying new ways, but I've got a new thing I'm working on with Sarah. We're going to be setting up multiple feeds on a network called Restream. And that's one of the things we were talking about when we first entered the show tonight. But Restream looks really promising for us soon. We've got to set up all the RTMP connectors and get the streams and the stream keys all set up, and then we just pop this thing out there and start working. So we're hoping we'll have a Periscope access point for people soon. Restream, yeah. Well, we're going to try it anyway. I'm not censoring anybody. They're censoring me, big time. So a solution like this to provide solar panels on roofs in America, vertical windmills on telephone poles to provide a tremendous amount of backup energy so we can lower the cost of electricity across the country, that's the best way to help our economy. Developing an ocean solution for filtration, getting more fresh water, that's a central part of our goal to create peace, too, around the world. Creating fresh water is the key to food and ultimately leads to prosperity for countries, and less likely people are going to be fighting each other if they're all prosperous. Yep, that's what I'm talking about. Yep, it's full-scale censorship with ATP in the crosshairs. And when this show started, I had no idea that there would be an attack on our house by someone who swatted us. About a year and almost 2 years ago, I mean, coming up in August, a year and a half ago, pretty much, we were swatted. And I had no idea that the problem would be so intense that I would get no support from the FBI. They refused to call me back. Oh yeah, there's Sony Pictures. You know, Mark says I can't play the blackface image on the screen anymore. He told me that his sponsors were upset about it. You know, I don't really care as long as I get the message out that here's White Chicks, a movie about black guys dressing up as a white chick. You know, was never called racist at all. I mean, and then people called me a racist in 2014 when I was running for local office. The Democrats and Republicans stole 90% of my signs. I had no idea that our local sheriff wouldn't even fill out an incident report for the swatting. We're still waiting for an incident report. It's technically an open case. It's like, okay, so they're purposely preventing me from finding out any more details about what they did and how much that event costs. They're shielding their budget. It must have cost $30,000 for them to put a SWAT team in my area for no reason. And I don't like the fact that they didn't call me in advance other than to get me on the show finally, and then while they're all set up outside with a 9/11 redirect to everybody, a reverse 9/11 call to everybody in my area claiming there was an active shooter going on. So this whole thing is insane. Hey, here's a solar rooftop production coming out of the Army Corps of Engineers. So why can't we get this thing ramped up and get solar panels going on rooftops across the country? No, I'm not doing anything to get tossed off this network. You gotta understand, I'm playing by all their rules. That's what pisses these people off. Yeah. I'm neither. Yeah, so we can easily ramp up technology and get people the necessary products that could make them money. Installing these solar panels would be a big boom for people who want to start small businesses. Five men and women teams that could go on rooftops around the country and put those up. But a typical home in America could have anything retrofitted, you know. We could easily put a solar rooftop facing the south with this type of a paneling. Just screw it in, epoxy it down, and you're done. Yeah, well, the fact is our government has been imposing very serious problems. Now, I think there may be a connection to the guy who claimed he was Sean, who called up telling me Mark was paying him to dox me. It could have the same voice, yeah. The voices do sound very similar, I agree. But there was also a call by a person who claimed to be a sheriff, who had an exact match to that voice too. Yeah, I have a really interesting call from some guy who claimed to be a law enforcement, and he talked with a lisp like he had a hair lip or something. And his voice matched the person who did the SWAT call too. So anyway, the story is a non-story from my perspective, other than to say we're all at risk. In America, you have the higher chance of getting swatted than any other country in the world. And that's mostly due to the massive amount of buildup. The grid could be a lot cheaper. Technology that sends electricity through the air needs to be investigated. There's a lot of factors involved here. None of this is getting any solid oversight by our government. We have veritably a government of nincompoops that are running around just following orders off of paper protocol. And the contract system just keeps creating the same problem over and over again. All I know is that the cost of, somebody said Trump and Barron is costing us about $1 million a day to have him and Melania in Trump Towers. It makes no sense at all. Well, the guy claimed he was a cop and he was talking with like a retarded person. It's like, dude, you sound retarded. And he kept saying he was a sheriff or something. It's like, really? Okay. That's history. Here's the gangs in the U.S. Army documentary, Shocking Gangs in the Military. 44-minute documentary we've got here. That looks like something that would be good tonight. I'm going to drop out of the riots in Seoul, Korea. Hopefully everything will calm down.
In Ceres, California, a small town in the Central Valley near Modesto, on the 9th of January 2005, a security camera captured a gunman ambushing two police officers at a shop. The gunman stepped side to side in a semicircle pattern. It's a textbook shooting technique called slicing the pie.
That's basically going out on an angle. He aggresses through the target, pushing them back.
Looks like a good video about gangs in the U.S. Army. Weird stuff, that's really important stuff to know about, too. Especially if we've got breakdowns in the ranks, rank and file. That's a real problem. I only accuse one person of being a Nazi. No, it's the only, duct tape, it's the only... No, sorry. I'm gonna mute you. You've been warned, duct tape. It's the only time I refer to somebody being gay is when they're calling me gay. That's the only time I've ever said that. So get your story straight when you mouth off, okay? Yeah, I only accuse people who are calling me gay of being gay because it's obvious they're attracted to me, so they want me to be gay. Thank you. And if you keep that up, duct tape, you'll be gone again. Yeah, do you think you can slip this crap through our show and not me see it? I read 6,000 words a minute, man. Well, I don't know that Melania is the problem. If you look at vaccinations and the dangers of vaccinations, that's something, I think that if Trump and Melania are really concerned about Barron, if he is indeed suffering from some sort of autism. I don't know if that's true or not. But what we do need to do is analyze the efficacy of vaccinations that are currently being forced on kids that don't need them at a rapid rate. They did a study showing vaccinations should be done very slowly, not quickly. They can be very damaging to a child. The vaccine process is dangerous. There's all kinds of things. There's a process by which vaccines can be filled with this product called nagalase. Bacteria makes nagalase, and it blocks normal production of GCMAF. They found that GCMAF helps to create activated macrophages that eat cancer cells. So by the cycle of nagalase blocking normal production of GCMAF, there is a production of cancer in our bodies when we get vaccinations. So there's a serious problem. They're also sticking glyphosate in the vaccinations. Glyphosate is what's the product in Roundup. Duct tape will be here for a while, but it's bedtime anyway, man. Your mouth is getting out of control. You come off as Mr. Nice Guy when you slip in with these little dirty little remarks that you make. You think I don't notice that stuff? It's not funny. I do think we have one right now. I think that Donald Trump may be somewhat altered. We have evidence that he might not be actually able to read. We had a video last night in our lineup, and I can show it to you right now, just briefly. He struggles with words. He may not be able to actually read. We know he makes misspellings all the time on Twitter, which is kind of unnatural for a president to be doing that. You've had your nights too? Okay. Well, he might be altered. I'm not going to say he's retarded, but I do believe that he's not capable of functioning at a high level. He exercises decision-making from an emotional level, not an intellectual level. He's not doing a lot of logical thinking. You can tell by his decisions. Here's a story about how he fails a basic literacy test. I'll give you the link to this. You can watch it on your own, but I'll play a little of it too.
What a weekend. Despair, confusion, disbelief, surprise, treachery, and I'm only talking about the historic New England Patriots Super Bowl victory last night. Never mind politics, but a lot of news in the political world as well. This story we did about Donald Trump seemingly not being able to read well has completely exploded. It went nuts. Nearly 3 million views on Facebook, nearly 200,000 views on YouTube. Tens of thousands of comments across all platforms about this. And the story is only growing. Not only do we have even more evidence now that Donald Trump would not pass a basic literacy test, we actually now have a document which explains some of the normal and common indicators that someone has limited literacy. And I'm going to present all of this to you because I am increasingly convinced that our president has only a passing knowledge, a rudimentary, a basic ability to read. And this is sort of a concern when you're talking about the president of the United States. So first, there's a couple more things I want to show you. I'm not going to rehash all of the stuff from last week. All the different footage and lots of different things that you can check out by reviewing last week's clip. We have now some very, very weird footage from the Inauguration Day morning worship service. You'll remember that Donald Trump and his wife and Mike Pence and his wife went to a church to apparently placate religious voters. And Mike Pence at one point hands Donald Trump a pamphlet with the songs, the hymns that were going to be sung there to Donald Trump. And when you look at Mike Pence's face, He looks visibly nervous about handing Donald Trump something to read. It's very, very clear that Pence doesn't seem super comfortable with this. And then as this entire charade continues, Donald Trump actually started singing before the first verse started. Clearly, he doesn't really seem to know exactly what's going on. And, you know, this could be because Donald Trump is lying about being religious and just doesn't know the songs, but it also helps to build this case that Donald Trump can't really read. And then this gets even weirder when the first verse starts and Donald Trump starts and stops singing. He doesn't really know what's going on. He's doing this thing that is common of people with low literacy, which is he's staring at the page without any visual cues that suggest he's recognizing much of what's written there. And then at another point, Donald Trump actually gives up and he puts his pamphlet away and tells Melania to do the same. Of course, no one else is doing this at the time. Trump seems genuinely mad that he can't understand what it is that's going on and puts his pamphlet away and demands that his wife do the exact same thing. So again, more and more of these videos are surfacing where Donald Trump just seems to have only a passing recognition of the words and sentences that are constructed in the English language on different pieces of paper. And here's the really stunning thing today. It's come to my attention that the Canadian police has what they call a low literacy checklist document, and this is related to a program they call targeting crime with literacy. I was thinking as I reviewed this, how Canadian of them, targeting crime with literacy. In the US, we target crime with prisons and guns, not literacy and education. In any case, take a look at it. We have the document here, and as I went through this document, I realized that Donald Trump matches the list of how we identify people with limited literacy perfectly. This document pointing out, keep in mind that people who have trouble reading, writing, and understanding verbal information often try to cover up their problem. Here are some of the signs that may indicate a person has a low level of literacy. And again, every single one of these Donald Trump fulfills to a T. Let's start with something that we've observed with Trump for a while, which is that someone with limited literacy may have difficulty telling a clear story, or sometimes might seem to talk in circles.
Well, that would explain this guy's talking in circles too. I mean, he's not spitting it out. I agree with you. This is unprecedented. That is the correct spelling for unprecedented, right? Because that's, according to Donald Trump, that's how he spells unprecedented. This is unprecedented. This guy is making no sense. He seems to be failing the literacy test. And the entire show seems to have gotten to a stall pattern. And I don't like it. I feel like, we need something to kind of pick things up. And I'm wondering, do we need Barack Obama and inspiration from him? Or do we need something else? Focus, yeah. Video, The Dynasty of Rothschild, the only trillionaires in the world. Okay, let's hear it.
If we fall for, a bunch of sounds provocative, tweets funny, sounds provocative, tweets funny, sounds provocative, tweets funny, sounds provocative, tweets funny,
Bing, bing. No, she's got this goofy friend. She's a basket case. Oh, boy. Goofus.
Okay, we're going to recap on some of the things that have happened tonight. We've got Russia has deployed a banned cruise missile posing a threat to NATO. Now, this is right after Russia declared that the Ukrainian government was using a banned missile as well. So, it's tit for tat here on this war front, with Russia pretty much doing whatever they can to counter the aggressive actions of Donald Trump. Now, 3,500 tanks are positioned in Poland. Trump seems to be staging a ground invasion using U.S. Marines in Syria, which completely is going against any of the positions that Russia has been taking in the past. All the while, Donald Trump is promoting a breakdown of Ukraine, which is a Russian goal, to break Ukraine down from within inside, declaring that Poroshenko has corruption charges on him. I mean, all this stuff that Donald Trump is pitching looks like he's getting pulled in different directions, and it's going to lead to something bad. I've been foreseeing this for some time. Okay, so the FBI is still investigating computer link between the Trump organization and a Russian bank. We talked about that earlier. For some reason, it's not popping up. Here it is. This is from the Hill. They're looking at an investigation into possible money transfers between a Russian organization and Trump. So this could definitely be the smoking gun that would take down the Trump presidency completely. All right, we've got that happening, and then Malik Obama, the brother of Obama, is so pissed at Barack that he's released what appears to be a real new version of Barack Obama's real birth certificate from Mombasa. Now, I've been saying that Trump, if he really wants to, divert attention from Russia for a while, go after Barack Obama's birth certificate and get that out of the way, because we really do need to get some restitution here. The only way to stop Obamacare is to rewrite history back to 2007 and virtually pull every executive order down that Barack Obama signed. Every single thing that he's put his pen to would be completely nullified if we proved that Barack Obama did indeed commit fraud against the American people and against our government. So this is confirmed all over the place. But some Democrats are even saying they dislike Trump so much that they would even like Mike Pence as president. All right, back to you. It looks like Barack Obama's little baby foot. Yes, it does. And this story popped in the room earlier. We're still talking about legalization and the importance of legalization. As you know, that's the first thing I'll do as president, is to legalize marijuana across the board, recreational use included. If you sell it, you have to pay a 10% tax to the U.S. government. That's the plan. If you're a retailer selling it, you'd have to pay 10%. If you're a grower selling it, you pay 10%. If you're grower direct, it's just 10%. But if you go through a middleman, it's 10%. A retailer is 10%. So theoretically, the government could earn as much as 30% on the sale of marijuana over a period of time. But there's 20 medical benefits of marijuana you probably never knew about. Medical uses that are just extraordinary. It slows and stops the spread of cancer. Huge. This has been known for years. Cannabidiol is incredible. It's got a cancer turnoff gene called ID1. It prevents it from spreading. Prevents Alzheimer's. Treats glaucoma. Relieves arthritis. Controls epileptic seizures. Eases the pain of multiple sclerosis. Soothes the tremors for people with Parkinson's disease. Helps with Crohn's disease. Decreases the symptoms of Dravet syndrome, causing seizures and severe developmental delays. Lessens side effects from treating hepatitis C and increases treatment effectiveness. Decreases anxiety. Helps reverse the carcinogenic effects of tobacco and improves lung health, if you can imagine that. Reduces severe pain and nausea from chemo and stimulates appetite. It's huge when people are suffering from cancer and they need an appetite. Improves symptoms of lupus, an autoimmune disorder. Protects brains after a stroke. Helps veterans suffering from PTSD. Controls other types of muscle spasms. Treats inflammatory bowel diseases. Helps eliminate nightmares. Protects the brain from concussion and trauma. It goes on and on. Cool. Thank you. 20 benefits that you didn't know about, but you do now. Yep, so Trump is basically probably working with the Russians to promote a breakdown of the Ukrainian government while he's initiating Kissinger's plan of a continued rebel support, and now the U.S. Marines are going in, boots on the ground, into a country called Syria without any justification. This is an act of war against Syria. And I don't understand why our government is allowed to do this internationally. I just don't get it. A video of Demi Moore with kids? Are you serious? What the hell is this? Let me take a look. Hang on. This is too weird. It's a Pizzagate video here.
Okay, one more.
Lucky little bastard, you said, huh? That reminds me of when I was in a play, the only play I've ever been in, called Streetcar Named Desire. And I this is a true story. Whatever. Demi Moore kissing Harry Potter. It is, concerning, but I was playing the newspaper boy in the Streetcar Named Desire, Tennessee Williams play. This is a weird moment in my life, and I got to tell you about it. It's just absolutely weird. I was also the stage manager for this production when I was 17 years old. I was doing a lot. I pretty much finished high school. It was basically my senior year. I was 17. And I was in a community theater production. My sister was in it too. And I was the newspaper guy. In this one scene, I had to go up and kiss Blanche Dubois, the lead character in Tennessee Williams' Streetcar Named Desire. So I'm with the 17-year-old. I'm 17 years old, and I'm kissing this 47-year-old woman playing Blanche Dubois. And I got to tell you, it was so weird. I'm not kidding. My first kiss experience with a woman was horrible. It was absolutely horrible. She was 47 years old. I was 17 years old, and she was kissing me on stage. Yeah, it was totally weird. That's the truth. No, I did not get of course not. But when she slipped me the tongue, I was like, what the hell is this? And I guess that could be molestation if you think about it, but, I was 17. The dead giveaway when crisis extras are used in stage psyops. The dead giveaway. Wow.
If one was to walk down...
PK Truth is going to give us more of his analysis of what's going on here. Yeah, he's still delving into it. I like the fact that PK hasn't stopped his effort to get the truth in what happened in the Melbourne car accident or other events. He's been looking at all these footages of what appears to be a false flag event that happened without any evidence of dead people in Melbourne, Australia.
Burke Street, Melbourne, on a Friday, say 1:30ish. You can't help but notice a lot of lovely women. Melbourne is known for the beautiful women, the way they dress beautifully, they wear nice clothing, they wear beautiful shoes, high heels, slip-on sandals, very nice. And of course, most of these women would probably work in the city, just finishing their lunch break, and they would be dressed accordingly for what jobs they do in the city. You would hardly see them wearing runners or sand shoes or whatever. Of course, you're going to get your few casual people, bogans, who just are in the city at that time.
Yeah, he can talk off his deputy's head for a long time. You can't listen. So we'll listen to that later tonight, okay? I got some videos ahead of it that are pretty long, though. I might have to bump that ahead of the others. Okay, yeah. Yeah, so what do you think of the new glasses I picked up out there in the public parking lot outside of in my local area? Yeah, I found these in the garbage, actually on the ground. Somebody had left them next to their car. They're just, yeah, they're kind of weird, man. They're 1.75 enlargement. They like blow the chat right out. I could see it very clearly from. Yeah, I can see the chat anyway. I have 20/20 vision. Oh, that my overzealous liberal thing. Yes. No, I didn't steal them. They were in a public parking lot. Public. Yeah. It's actually an area of our city that's in the public area. Yeah. Potatoes grow on Mars. Oh, yeah. So it turns out these Martian pictures that we've been looking at from the rover have all been taken from apparently America or Ireland. There's pictures of Mars that appear to be matching areas within our country. Ah, look at that. There's Martian, there's a potato growing there, yeah. It's a spud. It's coming up right there. Little spud. See the spud right here? This spud's for you. See it? That's from a Martian rover, yeah. It was a pleasant surprise to see the potatoes we bred to tolerate abiotic stress were able to produce tubers in the soil. Well, this is fantastic. So CubeSat indicator experiments proved potatoes can grow on Mars. Now, even though this wasn't growing on Mars, they know that the conditions are duplicated and they can still grow potatoes. So no need to worry about food when you're on Mars. This bud's for you. How many of you are going to make it to There was no windshield, there was no car. They were sitting right on the ground. There wasn't a car around them. Someone had dropped them and just took off. And I would imagine it was somebody who was probably fidgeting with their notes and going, "Oh, I can't find my car keys. Oh, I don't know what I did with them." And then that's where they went. Yeah, somebody probably having a bad hair day. So I picked up something. I have this uncanny ability of picking up things like that. Mostly glasses. It's weird. Of course, everywhere I go, I see every single minute thing, details. I'm very good with details. Well, they're working on tree and cactus seeds on the moon, but the moon is, as you know, not really something our government's going to investigate. The director of NASA said that we're not going to be mining off the moon after all. Because we never went there in the first place. Yeah. That's why we haven't been back to the moon, in case you wanted to, hear the big news tonight about technology. We never really went the distance. Hey, you want to see something really weird? Aside from talking about
as Obama leaves office, we still haven't solved the mystery of Obama's head scars. He's got these long scars all over his scalp, running all over his head. Comedian George Lopez with Obama. Look at all these scars, these long scars. It looks almost as if his scalp has been sectioned off. Here's Obama with Netanyahu. Purple, vertical scar running all the way up his head from his ear. Orange, I've traced the outline of the edge of his hairline. Look at his hairline, runs all the way down from the top of his forehead all the way down to his ear. It's just bizarre. In front here, is that a vein tracing his exact hairline from the top corner of his temple all the way down, coming to a point near his eye and then going back down, back toward his ear? And what's that vertical scar behind his ear running up the side of his head? What is going on here? See these two guys? Anything look odd about them? Well, neither guy is bald. They are wearing bald wigs. They are wearing latex, whatever they're made out of, theatrical bald wigs. If you're black, if you're white, it doesn't matter. They can sell you on Amazon. You can pick these up on Amazon for less than $50. You put some gummy glue and you glue them to your head. And I think the black guy here is more convincing. The white guy, you can see the line and the seam over his eyebrows. You can see the seam of the wig. Check out this guy. This guy's wearing a bald wig, but what else do you notice about him? Take a good look at his face. What else he's got a big...
There was something really weird about how do you
Obama's
do, welcome, fellow Texans.
Like he was,
we're going to look at this one right here. Look at this scar on the outside. Welcome, fellow Texans, and thank you very much for coming into the show. I'm going to be impersonating Rick Perry, but thank you so much for asking the important question. What the heck is on his neck there? Look at this. I mean, have you ever seen a scar like this? What the hell happened here? What is that? Thank you, fellow Texans. So nice that you could come in. Appreciate it. Sorry. That does look like Rick Perry. You look exactly like him. You should dye your hair. Hey there. When I was an officer for the TSA, we thwarted a dirty bomb attack in Chicago that would kill... Oh my gosh, really? Hydroglow, really? Are you serious? Hydroglow just gave us some information that really looks amazing. Aside from this massive scar on Obama's neck, which obviously shows some massive surgery of some sort, we just found out something from Hydroglow that nobody ever knew about. Apparently there was an interception. Somebody at the airport had a dirty bomb, and this is something he's talking about now. This is really kind of cool information, Hydroglow. We didn't even hear about that. Thank you for sharing, man. And now let's take a look at our U.S. foreign policy from the current perspective. There we have Putin is managing affairs very well. He's got exactly what he needs to maintain control over the puppet we know as Donald Trump. There we go. That's hilarious. That's absolutely hilarious. That wins all the awards tonight for funniest GIF. Thank you. But no, what is this scar on the back of his neck? Anybody know? On the side of his neck? That's some serious scar activity. What could it be? Somebody went after him in his carotid and they stopped it from bleeding out, and somehow he went on vacation and they microscopic surgery, plastic surgery, and it's like, what? Anyway, I'm a little bit pissed off about that. We don't know exactly what's going on with Barack Obama. And again, if you want to pursue this as a crime, we will see fraud charges brought against Barack Obama after all. Maybe Trump got my memo. I don't know. He could be wearing a mask. We may have seen a guy wearing a mask the whole time. The real Barack Obama may have died of lung cancer in 2010, like the Globe reported. Maybe all along we've been looking at a clone. How do you know? Do you believe they're able to clone people now? Because they were cloning Dolly the sheep 20 years ago. Dolly the sheep was cloned 20 years ago. So what makes you think we didn't see a cloned Hillary? I have some pretty interesting footage of Dolly the sheep, but it's a little too indecent. I can't show it to you. But no, seriously. Dolly the sheep was a female domestic sheep, the first mammal cloned. And this dates back to 1996. Okay, that's 20 years ago. That's when they reached the full research level on Dolly the sheep. Do you think they've cloned me? I don't think they've cloned me yet. They don't have my genetic material. But if they clone Bubbles, they could create another character, you know. This is the face you make when you smell weed in the air and you realize it's you that smells the weed. It smells like weed. I've been trying to work on this character ever since I first discovered it. It's an amazing character that answers all your questions simultaneous to the chat room. Let's experiment. Go ahead and ask me a question. I'll answer within 2 or 3 nanoseconds, and you'll see if it's the correct answer. I'm waiting. Consider me like Watson. I answer instantaneously. You apparently can't think fast enough to come up with a question. That's understandable. You are being heavily induced with fluoride. Hey, we have a solution called hybrid capitalism that will solve America's problems. We wrote a book about it. You can download it at americasthirdparty.com. It's 99 cents on Kindle. It's a ray of hope in a world that seems so dismal. Where are my underwear? Your underwear is currently located in a small closet underneath a pair of black pants. Continue. I'll have whatever type of coffee you're having. Well, I'm drinking a caffeine blend of pumpkin muffin, believe it or not. I found this an amazing pumpkin muffin recipe, which I mix in with raw beans. I purchased some raw beans wholesale for $1.50 for 10 ounces, and then I mix it up with regular coffee grounds. And I put the whole thing with flavored raw beans and together. It works pretty well, man. It adds a little cinnamon to the mix. It's good. It's not a brand. I make my own. There's a couple brands. Well, I'm using a brand called Egoist and a brand called Pumpkin Muffin. And I'm mixing that up with a brand which is sold at Walmart, by the way. It's a 12-ounce container, 10-ounce container of coffee for $2.28, standard grounds. It's a pretty good deal, $2.28 for a can of coffee. Your Phillips screwdriver is in the back of your garage behind your... You haven't used your sewing kit. No, it's a fishing kit. It's below your fishing kit in your garage. You dropped it when you were working on a flute one day. Do you have a fishing kit in your garage? Okay, thanks. Pumpkin muffins, yeah. It's a pretty good recipe. I picked it up for $4.99 a pound. It was already pre-flavored. I prefer hazelnut, though. But I'm drinking this. It's pretty good. It's better than nothing. I'll take it or leave it. Bottom line. So we had Rick Perry was definitely... That was a definite good impersonation. I thought that was a very good match. I don't know. I look different with these glasses on. I'm glad I found them today. I really am. So yeah, they've definitely got the ability to clone. I have evidence that Hillary Clinton has been cloned. And I played this before the election. I thought it was pretty interesting. I might want to just revisit it for a second. Because this technology is very real. They could be cloning organs anytime soon. No, nothing about flavored coffee is natural. But it said naturally derived pumpkin and cinnamon. But when they use like hazelnut flavors, you don't know what you're going to get. April the giraffe has not given birth yet? Okay, good to know. See this picture of Hillary Clinton's hand? Well, this is a picture of Hillary Clinton that didn't even look like Hillary Clinton. She got out. Remember when she collapsed outside of the war memorial, and this woman popped out of Chelsea's apartment? Well, there's an odd image of her hand there, and then we compare it to her hand from previously, about a year and a half earlier, from the campaign. And there's a very strange anomaly here that just cannot be answered any other way but cloning. Well, the fact is, if she has a double, there's no way her double is going to have the exact same lines or palm print as she has. When we compare the palm prints together and we analyze them up close and personal, you're going to see something that'll really kind of rock your socks off. Cool. I believe you. Okay, here we go. Let's compare hands. You got proof. Fox News. Let's take a look at this clip that just came in from a man who was working for the TSA. Convicted terrorist Joe Padilla receives a new 21-year sentence. There he is. Convicted terrorist plotter Jose Padilla was handed a new prison sentence Tuesday of 21 years after a federal appeals court ruled his original 17-year sentence was too lenient. He was convicted in 2007 on charges of supporting al-Qaeda and terrorism. The new sentence was imposed by U.S. District Judge Marcia Cook, who originally gave Padilla more than 17 years. Okay. Heightened risk of dangerousness. He's far more sophisticated than an individual convicted of an ordinary street crime. Okay. He arrested in 2002 at Chicago's O'Hare Airport during tense moments after the 9/11 attack. At the time, authorities said Padilla was on an al-Qaeda mission to detonate a radioactive dirty bomb in a major U.S. city. It later emerged the mission was only a sketchy idea. What? Oh, so you're saying this guy was just hauled in and he didn't even present with a dirty bomb? Seriously? Oh, that's ridiculous. Oh, what a joke. All right, here's the weirdness about this whole thing. Okay, this is definitely two different hands from two different people. Okay? Problem is, This almost looks like a scar right here, which shows it's a different hand. But what's really interesting is the lines are almost identical. Like these lines right here. This line right here. This line right here is almost identical. This line right here, a crisscross, it's almost identical. This V pattern up here, completely almost identical. How can two people that look very similar have virtually the same palm print? The answer is cloning. Ta-da! There's no other solution. Your logic tells you it's cloned. She's been cloned, unless she had hand surgery with lines installed with plastic surgery. I mean, I suppose that's possible, but... Breaking news, the president of South Korea court upholds Park's impeachment, removing her from office. This came in earlier. We're coming down the line here with all this news and flying forward here. The Constitutional Court of South Korea on Friday upheld the impeachment of President Park Geun-hye over her involvement in a high-profile graft scandal that led to the country being gripped with protests. So true. The people have been protesting for weeks in South Korea. Many people have died, and that's not reported in the news, too. The impeachment verdict came. The corruption scandal involving Park and her close associate Choi Soon-sil was found to be meddling in the government affairs despite holding no formal post. It broke out in October, sending the country into a continued string of graft and protests. Yeah, serious. It's going down. Hopefully the riots will be subsiding now. Weird Hillary Clinton, too, on International Women's Day. Here she is. Stand up and resist, she says.
There's a lot to fight for. Planned Parenthood, education, healthcare, jobs. Every issue is a woman's issue. So stand up, resist, run for office, be a champion. There's a lot to fight for. Planned Parenthood, education, healthcare, jobs. Every issue is a woman's issue. So stand up, resist, run for office, be a champion. There's a lot to fight for. Planned Parenthood, education, healthcare, jobs. Every issue is a woman's issue. So stand up, resist, run for office, be a champion. There's a lot to fight for.
Okay, it was just repeated over and over again. Yeah, I thought maybe she was saying that over and over again. It was just copied. Okay. She looked very lesy. Yeah, very much so. It was a very short, lesy haircut. Don't worry, be happy. Sounds like you're worrying too much, man. Who cares if she's a lesbian? Does it even matter? I mean, her husband's been at Orgy Island for like 16 visits. What the hell? Why do you lay a trip on her after all? I mean, she's only responsible for 117 people missing. She needs to be arrested or prosecuted or something. Well, I mean, we're giving her a pass here, and we really need to investigate. I don't care about her lesbian tendencies if she has them. It doesn't matter to me. I'd be more interested in knowing about the 117 people on the Clinton death count. Yeah, maybe I should do that in Rick Perry's. I can't talk like Rick Perry. I'm working on it. I got to get more of a Texas accent going. Let me get a clip of Rick Perry. See if I can pull it up. Rick Perry talking. Well, come on. Remember when she said that she wasn't in any way a stand by your man kind of woman? Stand by your man. Tammy Wynette. Let's listen to Rick Perry. I got to get a voice audio. Let me tell you what. Rick, go ahead.
Last time when you got in the race, you were the immediate front runner. You made a big splash. This time, now that you're examining it, you're struggling in the polls. How do you plan on reversing that?
One of Bill Clinton's countless mistresses has...
In 2011, we got in. We skyrocketed immediately to the top of the polls.
In 2011, we got in. We skyrocketed completely to the polls.
And we were leading for the most exciting 3 hours of my whole life.
And we were leading the most exciting 3 hours of my whole life. Yeah. Okay. He's got a little bit of the drawl there. I like that. Okay, Bill Clinton videotape with sex slaves on billionaire friends Jeffrey Epstein's orgy island. Let's close down with that. We got 3 minutes. I want to see it. You want to see it. Cool glasses I found in a parking lot, public parking lot. Let's take a look. Vanity Fair, what do you got? Raw movie reviews. The cannibal horror movie Raw is deliciously real. Are you serious? What the hell? Cannibalism? Satanism? I don't want that stuff pushed here. Yes, and we heard about the Malik Obama's birth certificate. Loose Cannon has that story too. Thanks for that. Yes, Malik Obama, the brother, half-brother of Barack, has revealed a bombshell. Remember I said that this whole birth certificate thing could blow up again? Well, I said Trump should come out talking about the birth certificate, not wiretapping. That only leads him back to Russia. But maybe this is the food that Trump's going to run with. Who knows? He's been stealing all my ideas on a daily basis, so why wouldn't he take this one? There you go. Barack Obama's bouncing 7.1 ounce baby. Ah, look at that. And Malik presented it. Look at that. It is the actual Mombasa birth certificate, folks. The one that has eluded the publicists across the country is now fully available to look at. So we've got fraud charges coming against Barack Obama on the birth certificate. That's up and ready. I'm sure that's coming. Okay, here's 2.5 minutes of Bill Clinton allegedly videotaped with sex slaves. Okay, this is from Mark Dice's show. So we'll take a look at this, see if it's any credible, if there's credibility to it or not. But in the meantime, I'm going to say goodnight to everybody. Thank you for coming in and participating in Technology Thursday. We've got a lot of videos lined up for you tonight. Yeah, Malik is the brother, the half-brother. He was very upset at Brock. He didn't get, feel like he got anywhere. Maybe he wanted a little bit more. This is one of the coolest slow-motion photography we've seen all night. We played this earlier. It is a water droplet landing and then all the spray of bacteria leaving it. This high-density, high close-up photography, which look at what a water droplet has in it. All the bacteria. Sprays right out. Look at that. Amazing, huh? And drifts with the air. Slow motion photography. Yes, whoa. Okay, that concludes this portion of our show, recorded broadcast. You can download our book, Hybrid Capitalism, at our site, America's Third Party, in the store. If you want to get a 99-cent, 200-page read. Okay, everyone. Good night.